right, welcome back to episode 5 of the High Point Podcast. Number 5. We've made it. We've made it this far. I'm your host at Rick High Jr. I got my buddy here,
Everybody.
Jacob at JDubTines. Jacob, how are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was an exciting week for football. Sucked as a Cowboys fan, but we'll move on. We'll move on.
Yeah, for sure. Feel like I at least have a lot of warm up notes for this week. But before that, I just want to say, listeners, please follow along, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, um, drop us some comments. We want to respond to some things in there. Um, but without further ado, we can jump right into the warm up. Okay, first note that I have here, Jacob, uh, Bills kept it a lot closer than I expected on Thursday night against Miami. Um, it told me that Miami's not exactly crap, right?
Yep,
However, I do think that Tua is the issue. What do you think about that?
he is the issue. Yeah, I mean, I'm heavily invested from a fantasy perspective in the Dolphins. I think Mike McDaniel's doesn't just crap the bed as a coach. Um, the commonality here is Tua making boneheaded plays.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's lost confidence, if the concussions have truly gotten to him because he's playing so much worse than he has even compared to last season, man. And
Hmm.
um, at the beginning of the season, last season, he wasn't doing so hot. So um, I don't know. It's tough to decipher what they're going to be for the rest of the year. I still don't think they're as bad as 0-3. Um, it's going to be tough to claw back. It seems like the the seat there is really hot
Hmm.
in Miami, so I don't think it's the right move to fire Mike McDaniel unless you know who you're going to replace him with, and they must have somebody on staff that they trust. But I do see them. I don't know what their next couple of weeks looks like,
Hmm.
but they definitely need a win. So they'll be playing desperate, and I expect to see the best of what we should see because nobody is injured on that team right now. Everybody's available,
Hmm.
except for like Jalen Waddle, who's always injured. But the guys are available, so they just need to make it happen and go out there and get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually while you were saying that, I was going to pull up their schedule. Um, Next Monday night at 0-3 Jets, or I'm sorry, at home against 0-3 Jets.
See,
So
winnable
maybe right
game for
there.
sure.
Uh, Followed by at Panthers. Then they
Very
have
winnable.
home against the Chargers. Probably not gonna do that one.
Probably not going to win that one, but it's at home. It
Hmm.
could happen.
And then at Browns, at Falcons. So I mean, there are some winnable games here against
Absolutely.
some crap teams. So
Yeah.
it's not impossible. And they clearly I mean, outside really outside of the absolute pounding they took from Indianapolis, they haven't looked terrible. Yes,
No,
they've lost games, but they haven't looked terrible, right?
it's yeah. I mean the games they've been in have been winnable. I think for the most part, um, and maybe I'm misremembering them, uh, but yeah, it's boneheaded mistakes, stupid turnovers, killing them more than anything.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. They really need to be fighting for their lives and beating. I think at least four of those teams you just named,
Hmm.
they should be winning.
Yeah,
And even the Chargers, if they're as good as if Miami is as good as I think they can be, then they should be able to at least compete with the Chargers
yeah.
and make it a close game.
Put some pressure on
So
them for sure.
yeah, but
Um,
they could entirely collapse. I mean that could happen too, and it's just they're one of the worst teams in the league. So you just don't know what's going to happen.
yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think I it really depends on what happens above Tua's shoulders. Really, I feel like the team right now lies on Tua's confidence, and if he can kind of get some of that mojo back, then they might be fine.
For sure.
Otherwise, I'm looking forward to a Tyreek Hill crash out, right? Like Antonio Brown, peace out to the fans, trotting off the field, saying I want to
Yeah,
be
I
off
don't
this
know
team,
what
right?
what it's tough. You never know what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
He's crazy. He's got that Antonio Brown gene. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I feel like that is on the horizon if they start 0-5, right?
for sure.
Okay, moving on. Indiana Jones, Mister Daniel Jones, and the Colts keep it rolling with a big win over the Titans. They have their first real test, I think, this week against the Rams, at the Rams too. I think they have been good. I've enjoyed watching them. I think they are a very solid offense. Shane Steichen has things pretty consistent over there.
QB
However,
whisperer, man.
what's that?
He finally found his guy.
I think so. Yeah. My one concern is it's not been a good against good competition. So we'll see this
I
week.
mean, they say any given Sunday for a reason.
Yeah.
The fact that they've basically been flawless on offense, no punts,
hmm
no turnovers. Are they still without turnovers?
No,
I
they've
mean,
had
it's
they've had punts, but I don't think they've had any like um, fumbles or
but
interceptions.
it's as good an offense as you can ask for in the NFL.
Yep.
Even if it's against crap teams, that's not easy to do. So they got something going on there in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun to watch, and I hate Indy as a Texans
Yep.
fan, and I have a soft spot for Daniel Jones though. He's been fun to watch. Aaron Rodgers is now fourth all time for passing touchdowns. He got 509 now in his win over the Patriots. I was a little shocked at that. I thought the Patriots were going to have this one, but there we go with Mr. Vintage Aaron Rodgers being able
Yeah,
to kind of
he
take it
makes
away
it
from him.
happen.
Yeah,
Not washed. Still got it. I think that's right where I would probably guess he would be in past touchdowns if you had not told me that. So,
hmm
yeah, sounds about right. I think, unfortunately, the Patriots are still a little bit unexperienced. Um,
I'm trying to figure
Mike
out
Vrabel
how.
will get it together, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to figure out how much of that is because of Drake May, um, and how much of that
I
is
mean,
the
they
tools
had
around
two
him.
critical fumbles
Yeah.
from Ramondre Stevenson. So they can pretty much point that loss directly at him.
hmm And
Um,
it's been interesting because a lot of teams have like going up against Pittsburgh. It's kind of a get right game from the rushing perspective, and they just weren't able to do that. Pittsburgh has been so bad the first two games from a defensive rushing perspective, like as in Pittsburgh cannot stop the run is what I mean.
right.
Um,
Gotcha.
but for some reason they were able to do it this game. So very interesting. I think Patriots will still keep it rolling. I think they may end a little lower than I originally had projected them this year, um,
We'll see.
but not too crazy. Like I think they go 500. Well, not 500 because there's 17 games, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, Baker with another late game heroics.
Jeez.
I don't know how he does it, man.
He's the dude, man.
He
I don't know.
he is him.
He
Yeah,
is him.
he really is building quite the resume for himself. He knows how to do it, and that's been pretty crazy to see. It didn't seem like he had a lot of time, and I was thinking, okay, well they get their first loss, but at least it's like a tough loss. Nope, he went ahead and let him back to go ahead and get the win. Um, any thoughts there, like as far as how he's operating with Ibuka, and how that offense is just able to be a
He's
really good driving
making
force.
full use of all his tools.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I mean, he's had several game-winning drives now already.
hmm
It's just he operates with precision. He gets out there and he plays fearlessly. And I hate to gush over the guy because he was a Sooner, but he's probably the most likable QB in the NFL now.
Yeah.
Like especially given his story from being a walk-on in college to being passed on from the Browns, one of the worst organizations in the league,
hmm
and now he's getting his due and he's getting his flowers, and it makes me happy to see him
Yeah.
be successful. And what a great situation for him to be in with Tampa Bay. I think he fits in there with the culture perfectly.
hmm
And man, I don't know if they've signed him to a long-term deal. I actually don't know what his contract looks like, but he'll I see him getting his bag very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. He would deserve it too. And it's funny because in my head, I remember him as Browns, and then I remember him straight to the Buccaneers. When we forget that he had a little weird Carolina Panthers stint, he had a weird LA Rams stint where he wasn't even expected to play, and then like Stafford got injured, and he had to come in and won him a game out of nowhere. He just has that ability in him, and it's really exciting to watch. I think he'll be a name to remember in the league for a long time because people are gonna because he's never been that guy that's he's not Tom Brady, right? He's not
Yeah,
Peyton Manning. He's not Drew Brees. He's not going to be one of those names that lives on forever. But I guarantee you, like 20 years from now, when I'm really old, I'm gonna be like, hey, there was this one guy. All you youngins don't know about him, Baker Mayfield. Like I'm gonna be talking
dude,
like that.
I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him to end up like a, let's say, man, I don't want to say Eli Manning because Eli's successful, but I don't know, like I just always had this view of Eli as like Eli dumbface,
Yeah.
like always kind of goofy, and maybe that's more because I was paid more attention towards the end of his career, but I wouldn't put past Baker Mayfield winning a championship or two
No.
at
You know
I
what? I
Hall
said,
of Fame even,
yeah,
and there's a lot to be done there, but
yeah.
he's on the right track.
I said it earlier. I was like, oh, I wouldn't compare him to a name like, Drew Brees. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of just like Drew Brees, right? When he had that
Actually, yeah,
situation in San
just
Diego.
a
Um,
gunslinger.
yeah, and then kind of had a terrible injury. Ended up New Orleans and completely revived it. Now everybody just remembers him as a New Orleans Saint. Nobody
That's
remembers him as
actually
a
a really
Charger.
good comp.
So
Baker Mayfield's contract, by the way, he's on the second year of a 3-year, $100 million contract. So
okay,
I I don't know why I didn't
no,
think of that, but
he's
I think that's a decent contract for him.
yeah,
I think the
deserved.
Bucks are getting a deal there because he's winning them games.
Yep, yep. Next thing I have Carolina absolutely dominating the Falcons 30-0. I want to say here that I called my shot. I said Carolina's going to go in there and they can absolutely hang 30 on them. And sure enough, 30-0. Um, just embarrassed Atlanta. It did not look good for them at all. Um,
Yeah, what it is Penix did I didn't watch this game, so I don't know what happened, but
mhm.
what happened? I mean, what was the flaw from Atlanta?
I mean, obviously on defense they just weren't looking that tight. But Atlanta's offense was not doing terrible either. They just couldn't get in the end zone. Like I think even if you go back and look at the yardage that was had by both teams, both on the ground and through the air, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but they just couldn't get it done. And I think there may have been like one or two special team touchdowns as well. There was a lot this week from
Pulling up
special
the
teams.
stats here.
So, but but yeah, that was I guess a little surprising, even though I said I wouldn't be surprised if they went and hung 30 on them. I was a little surprised actually, but
Okay,
you know,
Nostradamus.
good for Carolina. I think, like I had mentioned at the start of the season, I think they're better than they were in the last few years. I think they will be, decent, especially in a very weak division with the NFC South, anyways.
Sure.
The Vikings dismantle the Bengals, almost hang 50 on them.
Battle of the backups. I mean,
Yeah.
one of them just got beat down, man.
Mm-hmm.
Browning's a gunslinger, like I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's high risk, high reward. He threw a couple of picks. Um, even Jamar Chase can't save you from that sometimes. So,
Yeah. I think this game was very evident that Burrow is the thing that makes this Bengals engine run. Um,
yep,
but shout out to Isaiah Rogers on the Vikings defense. He had a literal perfect game from a cornerback. He had 2 touchdowns, 3 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, a 99.9 rated game. Uh,
crazy.
Simply amazing. When we played Stat Monster a few weeks back, um, maybe this one would have been better than that D'Angelo Hall one that I showed you. Um,
Or the what was it? The Devin Hester.
yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, Absolutely phenomenal from him. So shout out him. Um, Browns upsetting the Packers.
What? Who
Yeah,
saw? I mean, of course, everyone saw that coming, right?
I'm
Oh, that's
honestly
crazy, man.
I'm in the mindset that we don't need to read too much into it. Um, can't remember if it was. I think it was actually Micah who said to the press like, "Hey, everybody has these games. It's something that happens occasionally." And that goes back to any given Sunday, right? We say it just
Yep,
about weekly
exactly.
on this
Yep.
podcast.
That's
Um,
why the NFL is great. There is actual parity.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's such a true team game. If there's one or two components not operating, not doing what they should be on either side of the ball, this can be the result.
yep,
I mean, it's fun. That's what makes this league fun. So,
yeah. And I mean, I think back to last year with the Ravens, who were absolutely phenomenal. I think they ended up winning 13 or 14 games, right? Um, they dropped their second game to the Raiders, I believe, um, just out of nowhere, and the Raiders sucked last
yeah,
year.
it
So it
happens.
happens.
Sometimes you just crap the bed and
Hmm.
you move on from it. The good teams move on from it.
Yeah.
You get back next week and you're fine. Packers aren't worried about this. It's one loss. There's 17 weeks. I think they realize they're competing against Detroit for a number one seed, I think.
Hmm.
And they also realized, well, is Detroit 2-1?
Yeah, because they lost their very first game.
Yeah, so they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Um, yeah. Yeah. I'm disappointed because the Browns won in their new uniform combo, which was brown helmet, brown shirt, brown pants, brown socks, and now they're gonna always want to wear that, and they looked terrible. Just a actual pile of poop out there. I hated those uniforms. They're disgusting. Um, Broncos and Chargers come down to the wire. Dicker the kicker, Longhorn,
Heck
um,
yeah, baby.
ended up sealing it. I think the biggest takeaway here was the unfortunate Najee Harris injury. Um, Very impressive how in the moment uh, Herbert was able to kind of hurdle over him and still make the pass. But
He it's like Herbert was like he went to bed the night before and was like, please God, let Najee injure himself tomorrow so Omarion and I can party.
yeah,
And then it happened, and he saw it happen. He said, "Thanks God," and then immediately went back for the drop back.
yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah,
No, I'm sorry. Like I shouldn't. I'm not celebrating an injury. I'm not a Najee Harris fan. That's become like a theme on this show already. But I'm excited to see what Hampton could do
hmm
with the lead role because he's got to be the guy now. So
yeah,
um,
and we'll cover that in
there's
our.
nobody really to spell him. Who's their running back now?
They might have a second guy that
I'll
I
take a
just.
look at that.
Yeah, yeah, go for it. I'll just say, I mean, more touches for Hampton's not going to be a bad thing. We're going to cover him a little bit later in the rookie radar, so
True, true.
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Hassan Haskins.
couldn't
I don't
tell
even
you
know
anything
this
about him.
guy, so
Nope. Seahawks, they completely thumped the Saints. Their defense starting to look dominant again, which is nice. Um, Looking forward to seeing what that performance looks like over the next few weeks. Low key, Darnold is kind of having a great year. Um,
yeah.
you know, a
He's gonna
true.
have his Darnold games here and there,
Mhm.
I feel like, but for the most part, he's consistently pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you can just get the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba 10 to 12 times a game, like that dude's gonna do what he does with it. And
Hmm.
um, outside that, their running back situation, if Charbonnet can stay healthy, then I think they're fine. And then they got another weapon that's actually on my rookie list for
Hmm.
later, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It is kind of funny to me that it feels like Minnesota is a quarterback away from being the top of their division, um, and they got rid of Darnold. So that's just kind of ironic at this point. Um, Cardinals pick up their first loss against the Niners. Um, Kyler, by metrics, is looking really great.
Yeah,
Um,
Kyler is not the problem.
Marvin
Definitely
Harrison
not the problem.
Jr., however, uh, Maserati Marv. They're calling him Mitsubishi Marv now. He's not looking confident at all. Um,
Uh, I've never been high on Marvin Harrison Jr. Just for the record.
yeah, just coasting on his
Um,
last name.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't, you know, but the guy, I think he's already got more drops than Larry Fitzgerald has for Larry's entire career.
Oh,
No exaggeration. So that should tell you what you should know about Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyler Murray is not the problem. He's not doing great.
hmm
He's not, but he's also not the quarterback that's going to be able to lift a team to that next level. Like he needs a good supporting cast around him. And outside that tight end, I don't really think they have any supporting cast. Now, I do want to go back to what I was saying about James Conner in the last episode when we were talking about fantasy.
hmm
I said he's going to be good for a certain number of games every season, but he's going to get injured. And what happens?
yeah.
He got injured. And that sucks, man. I don't know a ton about Trey Benson, but I do know James Conner was kind of Mr. Reliable,
hmm
despite, kind of being over the hill for sure. I think he's still just an absolute weapon. So that's going to hurt them tremendously. And yeah, I'm not so confident now that the Cardinals are going to win that division.
Yeah. I think last week, we talked about the 2-0 teams that were going to fall out of the graces of being up in the division, and then 0-2 teams that were going to hop in, right? And I think Cardinals, especially now, like with the lack of confidence from your wide receiver group, um, the Connor injury, yeah, I can't imagine they get to 7 or 8 wins. Um,
I mean, that was a winnable game against San Francisco,
yeah,
and good teams win that game.
yeah.
So
Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next. I don't think it's going to be great for them. The only thing really working in their favor right now is Trey McBride. He's been fantastic. So I've really
for
enjoyed
sure.
having him on my fantasy team for sure. Um, Caleb Williams absolutely lit up the Cowboys, kind of unexpectedly. I think that was one of my picks to. I had the Cowboys winning. Utilized all of his weapons equally. I'm talking Cole Kmet, Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Adunze, like really knowing how to spread the ball around, which is impressive. Um, I had mentioned this at before the season started. They aren't nearly as bad as everyone expects them to be, and here they are. Getting this win. I think it's important for them. Um, I think this momentum keeps rolling. I think the Bears are going to be good. Now, I mean, trust me, I,
I
I know the rest of their division. I get it. It's a tough outing.
it's a tough division. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
hmm
I think that performance needs to have an asterisk next to it because at the end of this season, we're going to look at the Cowboys defense as like a bottom three in the league defense.
hmm
Like we're that bad.
Yeah.
And they had a tremendously bad game.
hmm
They're not generating any pressure on the quarterback. So Caleb Williams had all day to do what he wanted with the ball.
hmm
When he plays an actually good defense that can generate even a decent amount of pressure for an NFL team, I think he's going to struggle again because I
Yeah.
just think that's who he is. Not to say he couldn't be better than that, but for right now, that's what I see.
Sure.
I think the Cowboys, unfortunately, until something changes substantial, like we're going to be playing shootout games to see if our offense can keep up with how bad our defense is getting burned.
Yeah.
Like,
Which.
especially our defensive backs. I mean, with Deron Bland out, everybody looks lost back there.
hmm
And you would think by now, like, Trevon Diggs would have figured it out. Like, I can't get burned and be this, like, ball hawking, try and get the pick every play.
hmm
And he doesn't have the speed to keep up with top end wide receivers. So he needs to be playing more deep against those guys. And oh, it's just I could go all day about it, but our defense sucks. And I think a lot of teams are going to get really good performances on the offensive side of the ball against us this season because we can't get to the quarterback.
hmm hmm If only you guys had a defensive end that could somehow get to the quarterbacks.
As good as Micah Parsons is, man, I don't
You
think
think even
he wins us any of these games we've lost so far.
Yeah.
Either of the two games we've lost, I don't think he wins either of those for us. So I
Yeah.
don't think it makes a difference.
True. I think it, heavy on the secondary too. Like you had mentioned, with Bland, with Diggs, something has been lost because we know how good they have been in the past,
Yeah.
um, and it just feels like there's going to be a lot of those balls over the top that they're just going to get beat on, and
Well,
when
Dan Quinn, it turns out, is a really strong defensive mind,
mhm.
and Matt Eberflus maybe not so much.
Yeah, yeah, maybe not. And when you have really good wide receiver talents like an Adunze, yeah, you're gonna get beat. And
Yep.
there's no shortage of that in Dallas's division as far as star wide receivers go. So it's gonna start to look ugly. And to your
Man, like our next game against the Eagles, should they actually decide to throw the ball to us, AJ Brown's going to have a field day.
hmm yeah.
And Devontae Smith. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a 4 touchdown game
hmm
with their wide receivers. Like, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Small note, just fantasy wise. I know this isn't reflective of actual defense, but um, I did find it funny that at least in Yahoo Fantasy, um, the last 3 weeks they have scored 1 point, -1 point, and 1 point. So they have a grand total of
Consistent.
1 point for the entire season. But yeah, hey, consistency. You're right. Um, yeah. Kansas City. They finally get their first win of the season. It still doesn't look pretty by any means.
No.
But hopefully this gets some momentum rolling for them. Um, I'll say this much: Cam Scattaboo was having a moment.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't like him either, but
I don't like the guy.
he's definitely the run through a brick wall type of running back. He's CTE maxing. Between between him and Jackson Dart starting next week, White Boy Summer is officially not over yet. Like
Oh,
we are gonna
Lord
see both
Almighty.
of those two in.
I mean, I suppose he's exactly the kind of guy you want on your team when he's on your team,
Yeah,
but playing against him, gosh, he's so easy to hate.
yeah.
Like what
He's
a tool bag.
he's
But
the
man, he is tough as nails and he runs hard. He um he reminds me a lot of like the early days of Zeke, where
mm,
he can just stretch the extra yards at the end of the play, especially,
yeah,
and that's so invaluable. So, you know, the guy's tough and it's impressive.
yeah. Just
He
a
just
bowling
plays
ball.
he plays for the perfect team for me to hate. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, just a
bowling
bowling
ball.
ball of a man.
Yeah.
Um, Also, Giants they signed the Young Ho. They signed Young Hoku, so good for them. I think he kind of his cut from Atlanta seemed a little weird, but he's
I
going to the
mean,
Giants now.
he must have got the yips or something. Like it was just not working out. So
hmm
maybe a new situation, change of scenery in New York will fix it. We'll see.
Yeah, shout out to him.
They've not been bad with kickers in the past.
No.
Actually, I'm pretty sure my namesake Tynes,
hmm
they had a kicker for many years, Lawrence Tynes.
Yeah. That name sounds so familiar when you said it.
Yep.
Yes, I do remember him.
Anyway,
Um, Derrick Henry, another costly fumble in the fourth quarter. Um, so this three, by the way, this
every
is
game this season.
yeah, and against Detroit, by the way, um, three in the first 3 games that matches his total for all of last year, and then he also had no fumbles in the year prior in 2023. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's an anomaly. I don't think this lasts. All of the fumbles
Yeah,
have
his pregame ritual of eating popcorn with his gloves on, he should probably not do that anymore.
yeah, right. Too much butter on the gloves. Um,
Exactly.
I don't. I think it's an anomaly. I don't think this is something that's going to persist throughout the season. I think it's just a weird situation.
What are they
Um,
gonna do? Bench Derrick Henry for Justice Hill?
yeah,
No,
right. Like, okay,
no,
even if it does continue, are you really going to take out the guy who's easily getting 6, 7 yards a
nope,
carry?
nope.
I think you just swallow the
Derrick
fumbles
Henry's a
at that
beast.
point.
Even if he averages a fumble a game, what he contributes is worth it.
Yeah, maybe just take him out in the fourth quarter or something. Maybe just
Yeah,
don't, just sit him
man,
then.
just give the guy a breather.
Yeah, yeah, rest him for
Give
next game.
give him a decent running back, or maybe make your wide receivers work a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe run some design Lamar Jackson runs to give Derrick Henry a breather every once in a while. Maybe that's what they need.
Yeah, yeah. Detroit, however, they're looking like an offensive juggernaut. I think
They're
this
fine.
game, yeah, yeah, this game showed that they have guys on the defensive side to get it done as well when it matters. Um, I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm not even gonna try. But they had a defensive end that was hunting down Lamar Jackson the entire game. He was fantastic. So that's all I have for the.
7 sacks on Lamar in that
Oh,
game.
oh,
Yeah,
that's.
yeah.
I don't know what the record is.
Well, that's the most Lamar's ever taken in the NFL. So
That God, that's
yeah, it's
That's so
bad.
many. um, if you want to vamp for a second, I'm going to pull up some tweets that I had saved because I wanted to make sure we notated these as well.
I'm
Um,
just kind of looking at the scoreboard here.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what to vamp about.
No, it's all good. I got them pulled up. So,
You can
um,
cut this.
okay, so we know Jackson Dart's going to be the starter. Other things to note: the Texans released C.J. Gardner Johnson. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think that ends up being more of a he was definitely going to be a high risk, high reward type of guy. Very head on fire in the locker room, right? So I'm assuming he maybe t- uh, uh,
It wasn't a
attitudes.
culture fit.
Sure, we can call it that. I mean, I think it's maybe more impatience than anything else. And with somebody with his experience, with the championships that he already has, he doesn't have time to wait around and sit at 0-3. So I
True.
understand his frustration. Um, they go ahead and release him. He'll probably go somewhere else, and
They'll probably go back to Philly
he might
and make
that
them even that much better.
yeah he might. That wouldn't be surprising. Um, I talked about this Giants signing Young Ho. Um, oh, here's some trade rumors, and uh, I think in a future episode we'll probably cover this, probably closer to the trade deadline of like who needs what and what makes sense. Niners are calling for Bengals Trey Hendrickson. That'd be interesting to see. I kind of like that fit for them. It would make a ton of sense. Um, another another one for the Niners. Showing interest in Giants Kayvon Thibodeau. Really liked him at Oregon. I think he's always kind of been a staple. Like it
Yeah,
feels
solid
like,
guy.
yeah, always in on tackles. Like just really a defensive anchor. So
Yep.
the fact that the Niners, who already have a decent defense, are calling these two guys, especially after Nick Bosa is likely out for the season. Um, you know, it,
I think they see the division is theirs.
mm-hmm,
If they can stay healthy, if they can get healthy, I guess I should say,
mm-hmm,
then the division is more or less theirs for the taking. The Cardinals are probably not going to pose them a threat
mm-hmm.
later in the season. I think their biggest competition is going to be Seattle.
Yeah, yep. Um, then last thing, and these are all, by the way, from like just NFL rumors on Twitter. So a lot of these might just be a ton of smoke, might be nothing,
Sure.
right? It's just interesting to ponder over. Um, Saints and Bengals are mentioned as landing spots for Russell Wilson. Now that he got benched, I don't know. He has said that he's not done yet. He's looking pretty done though.
You know how I feel about this.
Yeah, you think he's cooked?
I think he's absolutely cooked.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys made him look good one time this season. Otherwise, he's been trash. I'd hate for him to go to the Bengals because I think they need to stick with Browning, the guy who they have had decent success with,
Hmm.
even though they got whooped by Minnesota. Maybe the Saints could use him. I don't know.
I mean, Spencer Rattler.
Maybe the Saints can come in and develop Shuck and Spencer Rattler, I don't know, maybe they need that experience.
Yeah.
And the Saints realize they're not winning any prizes this year. So
Mm-mm. I'm not sure where Spencer Rattler's at anymore. I know after the first 2 weeks he had the most attempts. I'm pretty sure he's still there. They're like high utilization. So I mean,
yeah.
I would expect somebody like Russell Wilson were to come in. That might not be bad. You know, you got Chris
That's
Olave.
not an awful fit.
Yeah, you got Chris Olave. You got Rashid Shaheed. You have Alvin Kamara, who's really good catching out of the backfield.
Chris Olave, yeah.
So I mean, like he's got weapons,
Yeah.
and not that he doesn't in New York though, right? With Malik Neighbors, arguably a top five wide receiver. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's all I got for the main, just for the warm up notes. Do you have anything else to add, or do you want to jump into to the main part of our pod?
Yeah, let's do the rookies.
Okay, let's jump into our rookie radar. So the way we've kind of lined these up, I've got 10 players from the AFC. Jacob's got 10 players from the NFC. And we are going to just kind of go over them at a high level, what we think about them, um, and then kind of guesstimate what their first year is going to look like, what they're going to look like 5 years from now, and then what their career overall is going to look like. Um, so we'll jump right into it. First up for me, I got Shamar Stewart for the Bengals, defensive end here. So he out of Texas A&M, by the way. Um, if you remember, there was at the beginning of the year some situations going on with him holding out on his contract, them trying to get that done. Got to practice late because of it, um, and so far hasn't made the biggest impact. He's
Yeah.
been okay when he's got in, but not nearly as much of a bang as I would have expected. Um, and on top of that, just some of the things he said in the media, the way he carries himself, um, a little bit boneheaded. I don't expect this guy to really have a fantastic first year. Um, I think he will turn it around, though. I think adapting to the league is something that's tough for rookies. I could see him like year 5 from now being, a decent guy still with the Bengals. Opposite Trey Hendrickson. I think they retain him long term, um, and I think he'll be just fine. Career wise, I'm guessing like maybe 6 to 8 years. Somebody that's consistently on a roster. Um, Hopefully, no off-field issue. I don't think he has had any off-field issues. Just kind of a weird attitude around this whole thing when he was signing his contract at the
Yeah, I
beginning.
mean, I don't know. The whole situation with Cincinnati and I recall this. I don't remember the particulars, but I kind of remember just in general social media kind of clowning on the Bengals about this. Like,
Hmm.
why are they hung up about like this rookie contract? Like, why are they nickel and diming kind of thing? If this is your number one draft pick, your first round draft pick, then why are you treating him this way? It's
Yeah,
not welcoming. I wouldn't feel welcomed by that either. So
I think it was because he was asking for more guaranteed money. And I mean, still, who cares? Like, just get it done. He's a
yeah, get it done.
rookie.
It can't be that big a difference.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe both him and the Bengals could take a little bit of fault for this, and
Sure.
they could be a little bit more well-rounded about how they go, moving forward. But you know, fantastic talent. So I think that can at least carry him far enough to stay in this league for a while. Carson, I'm not even going to try his last name. I'll try
Schwessinger,
Schwessinger.
Schwessinger.
Okay. For the Browns, fantastic. Just consistently in on tackles. I think he's a great talent, and I don't think they picked him up in, I want to say, like third or fourth round. I think he's been very, very um, involved, and I'll say that much. I think when you get these rookies in here, sometimes they are willing to just want to go right out and prove themselves immediately. Um, I think he should be a top 5 finish for defensive rookie of the year.
Really?
I think he's that good, and I think he's been that involved. Um, I don't, I don't think it'll be him. If I had money to place on it, I'd actually bet Will Johnson for the Cardinals. Um, but I'm not covering NFC teams. Uh, I think he's just consistently like, um, you know, assisting on tackles. I think he's had maybe a handful of sacks. Um, but he's just a guy that's consistently involved in the plays, and you're going to hear his name every play in the broadcast, right? He's one of those guys. I think career wise, he'll have a really long, good career. I don't know if it's going to be with the Browns. I would expect him to be one of those guys that is like, hey, let me test the market once my rookie deal's up. Go find a place that can actually win me some games. So we'll see. But I do think this guy is going to have some staying power.
Okay.
Jade Barron, cornerback out of Denver, originally from Texas. He was a Longhorn. Um, I really like him. Cornerback. I kind of enjoy watching defensive secondary a lot more than anything else on that side of the ball. Hell, it's what this podcast is named after, like going and high pointing the ball, is based on a or tip drill. Even once we get into our games, it's all like defensive backfield terminology. Um, really like him. He's been fantastic so far for them. He's come up with some key plays, and I think he'll also have some staying power. Um, I would guess 5 years from now he's still with the Broncos, kind of solidifying that defensive secondary. Career wise, I think he'll be one of these you know perennial All Pro type of guys. He's been fantastic. The only I'll say it again. Will Johnson from the Cardinals is the only cornerback that I think is better than him out of this draft. Um, so yeah,
Dang.
shout out to him.
It's almost like I should have put Will Johnson on my list.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Trust me. I'll say enough about him that it would just be repetitive. Um,
One last thing on Jade Barron.
yeah,
He won the Jim Thorpe Award. That's what I was looking up just a second ago,
that's right.
for last season. So, yeah, man, I can see him being a perennial All Pro, especially on the Broncos.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and it's interesting how many great secondary players have come out of Texas between him and Makuba, who I think is with the Eagles. Right? Didn't he come up with a pretty good play
unfortunately, yep,
like a few weeks ago?
I could only pick one Eagle, and I didn't,
fair
and
enough.
I didn't want to be homerish with my Texas picks either, and I picked another Texas player. So, yeah, we'll explain it here in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I think it's Ellick, not Elick. I didn't know but it's Iomanner for Tennessee. This guy is going to be their wide receiver one moving forward. Calvin Ridley has not looked himself. Um,
Perpetually injured, I think,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. I think. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Being a veteran wide receiver. But Iomanner's been pretty damn good. And not to mention he has the measurables to be that guy that you're targeting in the end zone, right? He's tall. He has fantastic vertical. He's the guy that you can trust coming down with the ball. So I've already enjoyed seeing him, and he's so. I know we don't focus on fantasy a ton on this pod outside of last episode, but he's available in so many leagues. But he's a
Yeah, I
fantastic
mean,
player.
it's the Titans, unfortunately.
Yeah,
They're like one of the least prolific offenses. I was just looking up, he's a fourth round pick.
yeah, he was.
But yeah, 6'2", 206. Went to Stanford, but
Mhm.
measurables seem like you're pretty prototypical X receiver. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him be their guy for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah, yeah. So I think he'll be there long term. Career wise, I think he'll be decent. I think he'll be one of those guys where in his era, in his draft class, he's consistently like a top 30 wide receiver because he's going to be the number one guy for the Titans, right?
Yeah.
Um, unfortunately, you know what? We'll call it fortunately. The jury's still out for me for Cam Ward. I think you like him because of his attitude. Um, You know,
I like what he's shown too
he's carried
so
himself
far.
really well. Um, I think he's made some plays that are questionable, but he's gotten it done though. Like the weird cross field throw that he had in week 2, where I was like,
Definitely
hell no.
risky.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want this guy. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want this guy as my
But
quarterback. That's
he
such a,
did it though.
but he did it. So then part of me is like, it's like when you in the NBA, there's always a player where you're like, no, 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 and then they make it, and you're like, all right, you got me.
Dwight Powell,
Yeah,
no.
I feel like that's more of a Westbrook these days, but yeah,
Eh.
for sure. It's like when you're like, what the hell are you? Okay, never mind. You made it. So you know, if he tightens up some of those, but still is able to um make his good reads. I don't like him telegraphing the ball as much as he does. Like you know who he's throwing to every single time. Um,
Yeah, he holds on to the ball way too long.
yeah,
He's got to develop,
yeah,
but I think he's got the good foundation for it. So
yep. I give him. I think career wise, like 8 to 9 years. Quarterbacks typically can range a little bit longer than that too, but I see him as a good, serviceable quarterback that's going to be around for a while. Um, if I if I'm trying to like give a roundabout way of where I think he would land, I don't think he'll be as good as Vince Young if we're talking about just like Titan quarterbacks.
you don't think so?
No, I don't. I don't think he'll be
Wow.
that good. Um,
Okay.
and not that Vince Young like was that fantastic, but he was about that right where it's like he had. I mean, how many years did he play for the Titans? I feel like it was around that time frame, about 6 to 8 years.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know.
but
But
I feel
I
very
think
similar.
I disagree with you. I think we're going to be talking about Cam Ward as a top 10 quarterback in 2 or 3 years.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I'm writing that one down. We'll
Go for it.
revisit that.
Let's do it.
Um,
It's on tape, baby.
yeah, yeah. You put it on wax. Yeah, we'll see. I'm still. He's a rookie. Jury's still out. We don't know what he's gonna be. But based on what I've seen so far, I'm like, this guy can be really good. But if he keeps making some weird mistakes, I can. But then again, we have people like Jameis in the league who's consistently making bad mistakes, but then he makes some really crazy plays too. So I don't think this guy's a Jameis Winston, but you get my point. Travion Henderson. Um, I thought he was going to be better this year, but I don't think it's his fault. I
It's
think,
still early.
yeah, I just don't think the Patriots are utilizing him as much as I'd like to see. They are going with Ramondre Stevenson more often than not actually putting the ball in his hands. So I'm like, feed him more, please. Like, I just want to see what can really manifest for him. I think this season probably not going to look great, but once he has a year and a half to 2 years under his belt with New England, then they can start looking at him like a lead back. Um, the thing is with I don't think I've ever remembered like a very memorable Patriots running back. You know what I mean? I feel
They've
like
always been a committee team. I mean,
exactly. Um,
historically, for fantasy purposes, you stay away from Patriots running backs just bar none
yeah,
because they run committee. They
yeah.
don't really have a main guy typically.
But if they did, I feel like Travion Henderson could be that guy. I think he could really pop. He has a lot of quick burst out of nowhere. Um, we saw it in the preseason a ton. So, career
Mm.
wise, I think he'll be either. This is a case where they realize his potential and they say, okay, cool, he's our lead back. Let's go ahead and feed him, pay him, and he's there for quite some time. Or he says, no, I can be the guy, so I'm gonna find somewhere else, right? So,
Well, I don't know, man. I'm looking at his stats and Ramondre Stevenson right now.
hmm
Travion's got 19 carries for 65 yards, a 3.4 average.
hmm
Ramondre's got 22 carries, so only three more,
hmm
for 87 yards with a 4 average. The glaring difference is just the fumbles, and
hmm
that was last game.
yeah,
So neither of them are really standing out at the moment. Now, I think Travion Henderson's absolutely the guy that's going to be the more likely to make an electric, explosive play.
Hmm.
They're probably still getting him up to speed. He's smaller than Ramondre Stevenson.
True.
I think they probably view Travion Henderson as more their long-term valuable assets. So they probably don't want to absolutely feed him like the Cowboys did with Zeke
Hmm.
and ruin him. So that's probably part of the approach. Now, I will say the first couple of games they gave him a handful of carries. This last game they gave him 11 carries. So it's trending. The usage is trending upwards. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what he does with the opportunities going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's one of those guys where um, it could also help if there was more consistency instead of doing
Yeah,
running back by committee.
true.
With a lot of these guys, Derrick Henry, for example, you wouldn't be able to do committee by him because you need to get him going
Get
and
him
keep
going.
him going, right?
Yeah,
And I think Trayvon's a similar situation. Um, let him play a Jameer Gibbs role. Let him bounce out and get him in space where he can make a move and get past the defender. Um, I think that's where he could really flourish. Next guy up is
oh man, I'm
his
excited to hear this.
yeah. Next guy up, right, is Travion Henderson's running mate at Ohio State. I can't believe they had both of these guys on the same team.
Crazy.
Amazing. Quinshawn Judkins for the Browns. Um, so initially, we can. I don't want to get into it too much, but obviously there was some off-field issues at the beginning here for him, um, which kind of delayed getting a deal done, and then delayed him getting on the practice field, and then delayed getting him to actually play in a game. He showed out this last week. Assuming all of the off-field stuff is in the past and that doesn't happen again, I think he's a very explosive back that can have some staying power. Um, Obviously, I don't want to put a curse on the guy, and I have no power, so it doesn't matter anyways. But the way his running style is, though, gets me a little worried for some of these guys that are a little bit more stout that have like completely messed up their knees in the past.
Yeah,
Um, but maybe he won't. Like maybe he's more of a Derrick Henry that's just an Iron Man, or a Maurice Jones-Drew who's just so thick that it doesn't matter. That he'll just be, um, kind of bulletproof. So I
I
think,
think a Maurice Jones-Drew is a good comp
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
So yeah, if he can be durable and stick with the Browns want to have a main running back.
yep.
They like to run the ball. That's in their DNA. I think this is a great match.
Hmm.
Um,
It's kind of like a replacement for Nick Chubb because I feel like they haven't had
yes,
a guy like that
yeah,
since Nick Chubb.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but he was amazing this last week, and against the Packers, who by all
A
means
great
have a
defense.
great defensive line, have a great secondary, great defense all around, right? Um, so yeah, I like him. Um, Assuming all the off field stuff goes away or stays off field and doesn't infect the rest of his playing. Yeah, this guy's going to stay around for a while, barring any sort of injuries. Amari and Hampton. By the way, gotta admit, running back class here,
Yeah, it's
especially in the
stacked.
AFC. Yeah, it is very
Stacked.
stacked. I noticed as I was making this list, AFC bunch of rookie running backs, NFC bunch of rookie
Wide
wide
receivers.
receivers. Um, Amari and Hampton will really get to realize his potential here coming up now that Najee Harris is out for the year. Um, but yeah, I think he's got the. I think he has all the tools to go toe to toe with somebody like Ashton Genty. I think we'll see that here in the next coming weeks. Um,
He's in a better situation than Genty for sure.
Hell yeah, Genty. I honestly I do feel
I
bad
feel
about
bad for
Genty
Genty.
because, um, you know, I'll flash the stat up once I find it, the tweet that I saw. But I think he has two more yards total than he does like yards after contact. Basically, meaning like
He's just
He's
they're stacking the box against them.
yeah,
They don't respect the O line, and they don't respect Gino. And unfortunately, besides Jacoby Myers, Gino doesn't have a lot to work with on that squad.
yeah,
The Raiders are not there. It's not going to be their season just yet, but I'd look out for them next season.
yeah.
They could be scary, but the Chargers are there. They want to win, and Hampton's in a great situation.
Yeah, it's interesting though, like how you want to feature this guy as your back, and then this is the year they decide to go all in on throwing the ball, and they have
Yeah.
a really great wide receiving core. Um, but I think this will balance out a little bit more, giving Hampton more touches, um, leaning on him more as a bell cow instead of a running back by committee.
Yep.
We'll see. I like his fit on this team in general. I could see him being here for quite some time, um, and that's saying something because as we know with running backs, kind of short career, right? You really get 3 or 4 years unless you're an alien, like Frank Gore or Derrick Henry, where you can somehow last at that high of a level for so long.
Yep.
Travis Hunter, I'll say right now, unimpressed. I you know, and I'm only saying that because of the expectations, because of the Heisman, because of everything that we've put on this guy to be like, oh, he's gonna come in and save this franchise. No, he's been good. He's been serviceable. I don't think he's anywhere near offensive rookie of the year. Definitely not defensive rookie of the year. And I know he was on the top of the board for a lot of people in both of those. But I don't see it.
He's graded higher so far as a cornerback than a receiver for sure.
That's crazy considering he hasn't got nearly enough snaps at on the defensive side of the ball. But um, yeah, you know, I think it's just because they're wanting to put so much emphasis on him right now, even though he's not there yet. He's not. This is he's a rookie in the NFL. You can't place this much pressure on the guy. Let him get a year under his belt before being like, "Hey, you are our entire franchise now," right? Because I think without those expectations, if you treated him like he came in here and he was just a normal rookie wide receiver, probably be fine. Um, I wouldn't have as many high expectations. But when you say, "Hey, this is the future," um, and he performs like this, it's like, "Hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit." But I'm happy to be proven wrong here. I hope he's very good, and I hope we talk about him one day as, yeah, he is a borderline Hall of Famer who was able to play both sides of the ball in the NFL because that would be a crazy feat, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm too high on this guy, but I've kind of come around after watching some highlights
Hmm.
from, and I think he's graded better than you seem to think at least. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about this guy as a top five cornerback
Hmm.
in a couple of years. Honestly, I don't know. It remains to be seen on the offensive side of the ball. I think I'm generally unimpressed there, but he's made plays on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's more where he belongs.
Hmm.
Um, and he's honestly just a beast of an athletic specimen.
Yeah.
So I see him being in the NFL for at least 10 years.
Yeah. No, yeah,
As
I should take a step back there. Year one, I don't think he'll be that great because we're placing so much pressure on him. Um, Throughout his career, yeah, I think he'll be fantastic. Because not only is he this prime, physical specimen, but he's a guy who eats, sleeps, breathes football, is constantly in the playbook according to what people are saying. So I'm not worried about his ability to adapt to the game, and hopefully that'll pop this year versus next year, right? Maybe we're 10 games in and we're like, oh, okay, here's the Travis Hunter we've been looking for, right? So again, one of the guys that I am gonna hate that I love because he's in the same division as my Texans, but god damn if he's not just a fun person to watch.
yeah.
Is this my last guy? Yeah, it's my last guy. Ashton Genty. We can't really get out of this conversation without talking about him. Um, Again, a little disappointing, but not his fault. Um, the whoever they're playing on defense has just had their way with the O line, with the Raiders O line. This is one where I'm like, he's going to have a fantastic career. It's going to be with a different team, unless they bolster that offensive line. You know, after his rookie contract, he's like, hey, actually, I'm going to go play for somebody that has an offensive line, so I can actually, you know, mark my name in the record books. Because we know he's in that same vein of Travis Hunter of being a physical specimen. That it's like these guys only come around every now and then. That I'm not sure he'll want to waste it here if they don't bolster that O line. You know?
That's the next step for Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Tom Brady will know what he's doing.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
If Tom's able to go in there, one of the better football minds of our era,
for
um,
sure.
you know, sure, maybe we can save GNT from being absolutely murdered in the backfield all the time.
I
Um,
think we'll see a different Raiders soon.
yeah,
Not this season, but soon.
I hope so. You ready to shift over to NFC and cover yours?
Let's do it.
All right. First up, we got Bill Krosky Merritt.
Ill Bill Krosky Merritt. Yeah, man. So I wanted to highlight this guy. You were kind of going off about him last week.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's been one of the steals of the draft thus far. Um, has assumed leadership and the starting role at the running back room in Washington after the Eckler injury, and has been pretty impressive so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you were asking last week why do they call him Bill? I looked it up on Wikipedia,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because as a little kid he had a near style, and so they called him Bill after the show Little Bill.
Oh,
Yeah, so
nice.
there you go. There's that explanation behind his nickname.
Okay, I
But yeah,
think
man, he's been impressive. I don't know. I kind of see him as and I can't help but make this comparison because it's Washington. Alfred Morris,
okay,
you
yeah.
know, not necessarily a bruiser back, pretty solid all around guy, a smart player who knows how to read a defense, makes good cuts. He's not, really excellent at anything. He doesn't have top end speed. Um, but if he can be durable, I think he's a good back to pair with with Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I don't know how his blocking is. I'll be honest. I know he's been graded very well the past 2 weeks since he's been playing significantly. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to assume his blocking's decent at least. But just in terms of running the ball, he's been stellar. A fifth round pick out of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No,
yeah,
seventh round. Seventh round.
seventh.
Uh,
Oh man, my notes are wrong then.
yeah, you might have them mixed up with. That sounds like Tet. I can.
Tet was not.
I know Tet was Arizona, right? If I'm wrong, I can edit
Yeah,
this out.
no,
That's fine.
Tet was Arizona.
You're
Uh,
you're right, Arizona. Yeah, 2024
and
Arizona.
Bill Krosky Merritt also played for a couple of other teams aside from Arizona. Arizona was just his last year.
Yep, seventh
Um,
round though.
he was seventh round.
Yep.
Well, shoot, that might be the true steal of the draft
Hmm.
there for Washington. So
Yeah, and
good for
going
them.
in line with your Alfred Morris comparison. Alfred Morris was sixth round.
The sixth. Well, hey, there you go.
Yep.
No, I see this guy as probably in his this season. He's obviously going to have to make a substantial impact. I think he brings youth to the team that very much needs it. Now, are they going to continue to struggle with injuries the rest of the season? We'll see. That may significantly impact his ability to truly shine. If Jaden Daniels ends up having some durability issues. Like I think there's been some injury concerns this past week.
Hmm.
If that continues and this old man team is sort of dropping like flies, teams are going to be stacking the box against this guy. They're not going to fear the pass. So that could impact things, and maybe we're not talking about him as a steal of the draft at the end of the season.
Hmm.
So temper expectations, but I do think Washington sees this as their running back of the future. They're probably getting him in there a little bit quicker than they expected, and I would expect they want to put somebody in there to spell him from time to time.
Hmm.
Um, Somebody better than Chris Rodriguez, I think, is their other back.
Yep.
So I say temper expectations for this season, but I see them as they're back for the next 5 years. 10 years, hard to say for a running back, but he's got the talent, so it's open ended. And if the Commanders are, I think Dan Quinn's a good head coach. I think they've got the foundations for a good future. So
Hmm.
he could be very well be their back for the next 10 years if things go right.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Alfred Morris was with the team actually.
I can look that
Seemed
up
like
right now.
forever.
I just had
I'm
his
gonna look it up.
Wikipedia pulled up. He was 2012 to 2015. Then after that, kind
Okay.
of bounced around. So
Oh, interesting.
that's what I was talking about with
Seemed
running
like
backs.
forever.
With running backs, man, short lifespan. You get maybe four years max with one team,
Yeah,
and then after that you bounce around.
it's
So,
tough.
um, but I'm with you on Bill. Um, he also had There's also Jeremy McNichols, by the way. Um, it's
Ah,
funny
okay.
in this last game because if you go look at the stats, it's like, oh, this McNichols guy, 78 yards rushing, right? He had a long, I don't know what his long was for
He
60
had one
yards.
long play.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And in that play, if you go rewatch it, I'm pretty sure the ball was supposed to be handed off to Bill Krosky Merritt, and Mariota just kind of screwed it up and handed it off to McNichols, and
That's
they
funny.
ended up making something out of it. So, but
Yabba
yeah,
dabba do,
and Krosky Merritt's the guy going forward for sure.
for sure. Emeka Egbuka. I mean, what can I say about this guy that people don't already know, man?
He's been fun.
It's been fun to watch. Pick number 19 out of Ohio State. Offensive rookie of the year candidate so far, and I don't think it's really that close so far.
Hmm.
I mean, did y'all see that one-handed catch this past week? It was a thing of beauty.
It
The
really
guy's
is.
talented. Um, it's crazy that they go from Mike Evans to this guy.
Yeah,
It's not fair, but Baker's got weapons.
yeah.
I don't know what else I can say about him because it's already out there on the highlights every week. So
Yep, yep. A lot of people are really high on this guy for good reason. I think he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year this year, just like you had mentioned, and I think he'll stick around for a while. Just like any player on this list, pending injuries, right? Um, but I think he's been fantastic so far.
yeah, I see him as a 10-year veteran. Yeah,
Phenomenal debut from this guy.
yeah. Matthew Golden. Yeah,
Longhorn.
I had to slip my Longhorn pick in here. I did limit it to just one Longhorn, but it had to be Matthew Golden. Um, as much as I hate that he went to the Packers, I think it's excellent fit for them.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe not necessarily as their traditional wide receiver one. It seems like these days they prefer to spread the ball around a little bit more. But I think this is the guy in a wide receiver group that's talented. I want to say somewhat injured. Um, I think this is their guy that they line up across from Romeo Dobbs,
Hmm.
and he's your true playmaker. Like Romeo Dobbs is kind of your traditional X receiver, more in terms of size, but Matthew Golden's a little bit smaller, but a great route runner, makes solid concentration catches, just a great overall solid guy. The mistakes he makes, are generally like concentration issues.
Hmm.
So you can fix those types of those issues. Um, I mean, I see him being as like a Stefan Diggs,
Yeah,
honestly, like long terms.
yeah. No,
Uh,
I see that. I see that in the attitude. I see that in the route running, the speed that he has, and then like a lot of the plays that he has made with his hands, where I'm like, yeah, I can see it there. Um,
for sure.
and he's been good to watch. Really excited to see his career blossom. Um, Curious where he'll be depth chart wise. If he'll be like you had mentioned opposite Romeo Dobbs. And there's one other guy escaping me from the Packers that might.
Jaden Reed and also
Hmm.
Christian Watkins.
Yeah, so both of those guys ahead of him now, but I don't see that happening too much longer. I think he'll be
I think
a
by the end of the season, he's going to be the Packers' leading receiver.
yeah. T Mac.
Yeah,
You want
Ted
to take?
McMillan.
I was gonna say, do you want to take a crack at his full first name? Is it?
I actually don't. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I've
Ted
just
Aroa.
T- yeah, Tetaroa. That's what I would guess. I actually don't know.
Teteroa.
I just call him T Mac,
Teteroa. I don't know.
Tet or T Mac.
Uh,
You know.
yeah, just T. I'll just go with Ted.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, this pick number 8. Um, this guy's Mr. Smooth, man.
Hmm.
He's not flashy in terms of measurables, but he does all the fundamentals really well.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's the Panthers, but I think it's very telling that he immediately claimed that number one wide receiver spot in Carolina,
Yep.
even more so than Egbuka. I see this guy as like a Mike Evans
Okay.
and
Yeah.
having that sort of career path. Um, he does all the things, everything well, for a guy his size, especially.
Hmm.
So if he and Bryce Young can continue to develop the connection they have, then you've got a number one wide receiver there, like for the foreseeable future.
Hmm.
And I think he is absolutely going to be part of their long term plans.
Yeah. He's really good at those elevator balls where he has to really get up, and he had
Yeah.
one this week that it should have gone out of bounds for sure, but he got up there and grabbed it. And I feel like you'd mentioned like comparisons. To me, some of those seem very, and this is just because they're flashy, because they're interesting. Where he gets a ball thrown to him, and you're like, oh, bad throw, or like, oh, that's going out of bounds, and he somehow snags it. It's giving DeAndre Hopkins. It's giving Odell Beckham Jr. Like just flashy, the ones that you'll see on SportsCenter top 10, despite a 20-point loss or something because it's the
Yep.
Panthers. So
Yep.
we'll see how far he goes with Bryce Young, but he like you said, um, easily jumping into that wide receiver one, just snatching the chain from Xavier Leggett. It just he's the guy, and he's been the guy. So good luck to him moving forward for sure. I think long term in this league.
Yep. Oh man, yeah. So like I said, I had to fit in my one Eagle in there because they've got two very impressive rookies with
Mhm.
him and Makuba. But Jihad Campbell, this guy's crazy talented, out of Alabama. First round pick number 31. So far, he's graded as one of the highest rookies just through the first 3 weeks,
Mhm.
um, and he is absolutely holding his own as the starting linebacker across from my X Factor player Zach Bond,
Mm. Mhm.
making plays all over the board. Um, it's, I mean, maybe it's too soon to draft comparisons, but like he strikes me as if like a Micah Parsons and Levante David had a baby.
Yeah.
And that scares me because he seems like he's going to be a centerpiece Eagle for the next decade, all over the field for them.
Mhm.
So yeah, it sucks, but I got to give this guy his flowers. He's been killing it so far.
Yeah. Little did you know their dynasty started last year. They're actually going to be phenomenal for the next
Oh
10 years.
jeez, yeah, that's my nightmare.
Yeah. Speaking of another in division guy, we got Jackson Dart.
Yeah, man. Honestly, you probably know more about this guy than I do. Went to Ole Miss, pick number 25.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't watch any of him
Hmm.
in college, so I don't know much about him, and I didn't do a whole lot of prep on him because I figured I'd lean on you.
Yeah.
So what do you know about him? And then
So
I'll give a couple of quick thoughts.
So I know, and I'm basing some of this off just interviews that I've seen or actual like game film talk that he's done with like John Gruden and stuff, where
Yeah, yeah.
he doesn't strike me as somebody that's super sharp on that side of the ball. But you don't have to be. I'm not saying I feel like quarterback's one of those positions where we constantly are like, he's got to be a high IQ player. He's got to be that guy who knows how to make his reads, who knows how to read defenses, who knows how to, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just need to be a damn good football player. You don't always have to be the smartest guy on the field. All that to say, Dart had some interviews and some moments prior to getting drafted where I'm like, this guy seems like dumb as a
Is it
box
like
of
a
rocks.
is it like a Ole Miss, like good old country boy? I'm just simple kind of
No,
like I'd
no,
rather be fishing than talk about this stuff.
no, not like that. And I mean, he's from Utah for what it's worth. He's
Oh,
not like
okay.
a Southern boy, but he just happened to play at Ole Miss. Played his first year at USC. But I think what I'm referencing, and I'll try to find the video. I'll make a note of it. The video that I'm referencing is when he's talking about, um, you know, you'll ask a quarterback how they, set up the offense. What do they do to snap the ball? What do they call out? Peyton's Omaha, like stuff like that to try to get a cadence going with your
Yeah.
O line. He's like, okay, how do you do a silent snap? And he straight up just goes like this, and it's like, oh, so he's like, is that it? He's like, yeah, just clap.
Stand up. Let me see your snap count. Let me be honest with me, because I see at USC, I see this guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah. No, I want to hear the snap count.
Yeah.
Really? Every time?
Every time.
Do you have like a dummy clap or anything?
Yeah, we call it purple. I'd be
What's
like,
that? No shit.
Yeah.
For 3 years, you've been clapping. I think I could do that.
Let me hear it.
No, I ain't doing it.
And I'm like, okay, normally you kind of talk through that a little bit, like tell me what you're doing versus just a
Right.
silent like leg lift and a clap. Like, okay, I get that, but
Like
it's
we
still,
see that on TV, but like why?
yeah,
How does it work?
yeah, and the fact that he hasn't actually talked about, hey, these are the calls I'm making, this is the reads that I'm doing, things like that prior to the snap, made me think, oh, this guy's kind of dumb, but he's not. I
Well, maybe it's a,
go ahead.
maybe it's a, these things are like so ingrained to me as a quarterback. It's just second nature. Like I don't know how to explain it to you because it to me just is.
Yeah, it could be.
I know. Oh, hey, silent count, boom.
Yeah,
Like that's it from me. It's not any more complicated than that because I've already prepped with my linemen and that's just part of the deal. And I'm a quarterback. Like,
yeah,
I get not having the sort of emotional intelligence to be able to step back and say, okay, like this person may not understand the
hmm,
mechanics of all this. So I
yeah.
get what you're saying about doesn't have to be a NASA rocket scientist.
Hmm.
He just can be good at football.
But I also think that, in this scenario, it might just be, don't complicate something that doesn't need to be complicated. Like what he's doing worked at Ole
Yep.
Miss. Why try to make it, so much more than it is? If
Yeah.
if I can, make the reads that I make, if I can, set up my snaps and my cadence how I want to, who cares? I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
And he's been successful. Hopefully, he'll continue to be. So shout out to him. Um, we'll see. I think for career on this one, big question mark for me. Um,
Yeah, this is tough, man. The quick notes I was gonna give is historically,
mhm,
New York is good at picking quarterbacks.
mhm.
So I'll give him that. Eli Manning, and even now we can say Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah,
quarterbacks. I you know, the Russell Wilson thing, whatever. I'll put that aside.
they didn't pick him, so that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm willing to say like I'm not just sold. Well, okay, I'm not crazy that the Giants are throwing him in here.
Hmm.
Okay, I knew it was going to happen at some point in the season, not necessarily week 4. Um, I think it's going to be rough on him,
Yep.
and that's not how you want to develop your quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think we talked a couple episodes about some guys you throw to the wolves, some guys you really want them to hang back and watch. And I don't know what kind of guy this is, but we'll see what happens. But I think it's a risky proposition.
Yep.
So
Pressure pressure builds diamonds, and pressure can also crush you. So,
true.
which one's going to happen to Jackson Dart, right?
Yeah.
Next up, we got Michael Williams.
Yeah, Michael Williams. So this is number pick 11 out of Georgia, defensive end. I actually haven't seen a ton of hype around him, even though he is a top 15 pick. But all over message boards, Reddit, everything, Niners fans just love him.
Hmm.
So I wanted to put him out here, given that he's a defensive end. And maybe as I'm thinking through this, I'm kind of attributing, drafting habits to certain teams. But you can't deny that Niners draft and develop their edge rushers well.
Hmm.
So I think he's in a good spot culturally for that to happen. Again, stat wise, I don't think he's been all over the sheet or anything. He hasn't made a tremendous number of tackles or anything like that. But it's more of those kind of intangibles. Like when fans are talking about this guy's all over the field,
Hmm.
he's making plays, he's doing things that don't show up on the stat sheet, and everyone's saying that it's not just the big football heads, then this guy's he's doing something special.
Yeah.
And it's not selfish plays, because there are guys that can make selfish plays and kind of stat pad. Even in football, it can happen. He doesn't strike me as one of them. Being from one of those blue blood schools, being from Georgia, I think he's got the pedigree there. I think one of his combine comparisons was Jadavion Clowney,
Nice.
actually, which is scary. So just imagine like a young Jadavion Clowney in San Francisco. Maybe not, exactly what Jadavion Clowney was at his peak, but this guy could turn into be something akin to that.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I'm just
Yeah, I actually do think he can get there. I think he can potentially be better than Clowney. Um, from what I've seen, I you said it before I was able to, but yes, he's the guy that doesn't show up. The things that he does may not show up in the stat column, but he makes a huge impact. And for what it's worth, right now, he's the fourth highest odds for defensive rookie of the year. Um,
interesting.
Jahad Campbell second, by the way. Then at the top there is Abdul Carter, and then the Browns guy that I covered earlier, Carson Schwessing. I'm not going to try it again.
Schwessinger.
Schwessinger.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but when you got a lisp, man, it really screws you up. So we'll move on, and I'm not going to edit that out, but I wish I could. Xavier Watts.
Yeah, man. So maybe not the best week to be covering this since the Falcons kind of got embarrassed on the defensive side of the ball. But
Yeah.
outside of that, he's been one of the highest graded rookies. He immediately claimed the starting free safety spot for the Falcons just out of camp.
Hmm.
So he's played every single defensive snap for them, I believe, which is impressive for a rookie.
Hmm.
Third round pick out of Notre Dame. Maybe this is just talk. I don't know. But from what I've seen online, he's drawn comparisons to Ed Reed. And as a safety, that's
Ooh.
pretty much the highest compliment you can have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, Notre Dame, he's got pedigree. Falcons, historically, man, I keep saying that the teams historically have had a decent defensive back sort of culture. So this guy could be a strong candidate, I think, as the season goes on and the Falcons can get their defense together
Hmm.
for a defensive rookie of the year type. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
It's
see.
it's it's early for that, but
Oh yeah, he'd have to climb a little bit. His odds aren't too great on that, but I know what you mean. I'm hoping then if he draws that Ed Reed comparison, I want to see some big hits from this guy. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Torrey Horton for Seattle.
Yeah, Torrey Horton. So this is the guy I had as my real big steal of the draft before you corrected me on Krosky Merritt being a 7th round pick, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a 5th round pick out of Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's not your Tet McMillan where you came in and immediately spilled the number 1 spot, but he's the number 2 wide receiver in Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba obviously tremendously talented there. Torrey Horton's much more of your prototypical X receiver, whereas JSN's more of your possession guy, going to get more catches, more targets generally.
Mm-hmm.
But Torrey Horton's been making big plays,
Mm-hmm.
good size. He also returns balls. So last week he had, I think it was a 90+ yard punt return.
He did, yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. They maybe should be careful with using him on return duties, but he's a big dude. You typically don't see 6 foot plus guys doing
Return
return
duty.
duties.
Yeah, it's usually the
So
short, swift, shifty guys. So
I think he's really talented. I did know next to nothing about him from his college days, but he's been making plays. So yeah, it's been fun to watch highlights from Mr. Horton there.
yeah, and that punt return, by the way, was a franchise record for the Seahawks, 95 yards.
Wow.
I mean, they were all over the Saints in that game, like pretty badly.
Yeah.
So there's bound to be at least one record broken. But yeah, man, again, a big receiver should be really good moving forward for them. Having somebody opposite JSN is going to be really great.
Yep.
And then that's giving somebody like Darnold, who does need targets, can't really make plays himself, or make plays with subpar receivers.
Give him a big target.
Yeah, exactly. So having Torrey Horton here,
That he can just lob it up to.
exactly. That'll prove really well for them. I'm excited for tonight. I say that because these release on Thursday. They play against the Cards, and they're going to be in their rival uniforms,
That'll be
the
fun.
ones that we reviewed. So,
Yeah.
last guy, we got Tyler Booker here.
I had to throw my Cowboy in here.
Yeah, gotta get one.
Tyler Booker, pick number 12 out of Bama, guard. Got that pedigree. He's got the size. He's tremendous. 325 pounds, 6'4" something. He's been great so far. Now, he did just get diagnosed with a high ankle sprain, so he'll be out for 3-4 weeks, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to my certain teams draft and develop certain positions well over the past decade. If there's one thing the Cowboys have done well, it's O-line.
Absolutely.
So when they pick high on their O-line, they're betting high on these guys being there for long term. This guy was picked to be Zach Martin's replacement, and Zach Martin was a top 5 guard in the league for his entire career. So if this guy can be half that, then we're set at this position for the next decade.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
I've got high hopes for him because he has performed very well so far. He's been one of the like consistently good spots in our O-line, and the fact that he's going to be out for the next several weeks actually sucks. And I don't know that we're going to be as good on offense because of that.
I mean, I don't think there's a lot of light at the end of the tunnel for the Cowboys this year anyways. Rest easy, big guy. Like, come back when you're ready. Let's retool a little bit, because it so far does not look like the Cowboys are making any sort of decent run here anytime soon.
Especially now with CD Lamb also being injured, potentially being an IR candidate. Yeah, it's not looking good right now.
Right. But other than that, hey, shout out to you for putting a offensive lineman here on this list, because I feel like we needed at least one. And
I was also considering Kelvin Banks Jr. on the Saints.
we
Shout out
didn't
to
want
my
to put
boy.
too many Longhorns.
He's been one of the highest graded rookies as well.
Yeah,
One of the lone shining consistent bright spots on the Saints offense.
yeah, and they have not had a lot.
Yeah,
That'll do it for our rookie radar. Let's go ahead and jump into the tip drill.
let's do it.
Alrighty, first game in the tip drill. We're gonna build a wide receiver.
Oh boy.
Okay, categories we have are gonna be route running, hands, release, speed, and spacing.
Is this current players only?
Um, yes,
Yes.
I feel like we should.
Okay.
I feel like that would be better to do.
Okay.
If we open it up, it's easier. So we got to make it
Okay.
at least a little challenging.
That's fine.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Do you go first or me? Sorry.
No, that's what I was asking. I'll go first. You
Who
go
got
first
first?
on our next one.
Yeah, you go
Um,
first. Go ahead.
Let's see. Hands, I'm gonna go Smith and Jigba.
Good pick.
Hold on, I gotta figure out how to spell this. There we go. I think that's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
All right, go for it.
Well, shoot. You already took hands, so I think I'm gonna go somewhere else and say speed. Jamison Williams.
Nice. I like that one. He's been hasn't I feel like he hasn't been too crazy this year for the Lions yet. But I know we've talked about it before. He'll have that, crazy moment out of nowhere where he just pops and
For sure.
is very good.
Absolutely.
Route running, I want to get Justin Jefferson here. I think he is one of the better route runners. There's like one other guy that I think is equally good, but he's not like a top tier wide receiver. So I'd rather place him here.
Okay.
Maybe that was a miss because I could, you know what, you could put him anywhere, but I think
Yeah, you really could put him anywhere.
But I remember seeing, and I've seen multiple videos of this, of him teaching others how to route run, like going to, like doing camps and things like that. And the way he explains it, the way he,
Yeah.
walks through it, talks through it, he's damn good at route running. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just
Yeah.
take him there.
Yeah, you probably put it in the right place there.
Mhm.
Crap. I feel like you've already got such a good one. All right. For release, I'm going to do CD Lamb.
That's yeah, that's good. That makes sense. He's able to kind of get that quick burst straight up the field. Speed, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. I mean, he hasn't been fantastic this year yet, but it's like, how do you...
He's definitely not as fast, but
Yeah.
he's still,
He's
I mean, top end speed is great.
Exactly. So I feel like you can't go wrong there, putting him at speed.
All right. Route running. No, actually, for spacing, give me Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, he'd be fantastic there. God, somebody with Jamison Williams' speed and Jamar Chase's spacing.
Oof.
See, I think what's going to come down to it for you is who you have for hands.
I got this, baby.
you got
Unless
this
you
one in the
steal it
bag?
from me.
I don't know. Release, I'll say. See, I almost view release and spacing similar. It's like release plus speed equals spacing in a way, Plus route running, I guess, too. But all right, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go spacing on this one, and I'm gonna say Puka.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good, solid pick.
Who you got? You
For
got.
my hands, give me Amon-Ra St. Brown, baby.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
That dude's reliable as they come.
I'm just gonna put Amon Ra. That works. Yeah, man. Hands wise, you're building out a pretty decent Detroit Lion here, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Release wise, I'll go. God, I don't want to put him because he sucked last game. But I feel like Zay Flowers does a really good job of getting some a lot of release when he gets out in space. So I'll put him there. Who you got for route running?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Okay, so you got 2 Browns. All right, so route running, I have Justin Jefferson. Hands, I got Jackson Smith and Jigba. Release, I got Zay Flowers. Speed, I got Tyreek Hill. And spacing, I got Puka Nakua. Jacob, you want to run through yours?
Yeah, route running AJ Brown, hands Amon-Ra St. Brown, release CD Lamb, speed Jamison Williams, and spacing Jamar Chase.
So I think this one's very close.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we'll have to defer to comments. Whoever thinks we're going to win this one. I would say let's going down each attribute. I think I have it on route running. I think it's a toss up at hands.
I think you probably win at hands, actually.
You think so?
Yeah. I got you on the release.
You have me
and
on the
speed.
release and this. Oh yeah.
I think I got you on the speed.
Yeah, you.
I'm curious.
That's fine.
Who's faster? Let's see.
And then, well, I mean, you got to factor in the fact Tyreek Hill's
Let's
older.
just look at what their top speeds have been so far this year. I'm curious.
Do we have those metrics? Do we have the data?
Aren't they advanced stats?
Yeah, that might be. I haven't checked that
Next
out yet.
gen stats.
And then you probably got me on spacing with Jamar Chase.
Let's see here. Who comes up first? DK Metcalf is up there. Okay, Tyreek Hill 20.97. Oh man, Jamison Williams isn't even on here.
Bro, I cooked you. You're done.
Yeah, I guess you got me there. Okay.
All right. Next one we got up. Okay, so this is going to be the goofy one. We're going to be grading the NFL concessions.
Got my popcorn.
So the way I put this one together, there was I don't even remember. It might have been like Yahoo Football or some news outlet, their football coverage, and it was basically like, hey, this is the noteworthy thing in each NFL stadium, right? So
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have your hot dogs, you're gonna have your burgers, you're gonna have whatever. But these are the
Bergs and
things.
dogs?
What's that?
Said Bergs and dogs?
Yeah, classic stadium food. These are the ones per team that are different, or maybe it's something regional, right? So we're gonna go through these pretty quickly. I just want to get a 1 through 10 on these.
Okay.
First one up, Green Bay. We got the meatloaf sandwich. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. It does not look appetizing.
I bet you it tastes pretty good, but give me like a 2 for presentation alone.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't go something with cheese here. Like you would think that this one would be like.
Where's the like ketchup?
Yeah, no, it needs a sauce. It might have some sauce.
I don't really know why it needs to be a sandwich.
Yeah.
Meatloaf already has the bread in it.
Well, because you're at a
What the hell are these people doing in Green Bay, man? They need to do some. Get back to the cheese.
You're at a ball game. You got to have bread. It has to be something carryable.
No, you don't. It's on a skewer. It put meat on the skewer.
Oh, there's
Make
a
it
skewer
meatloaf
there.
on a stick. Why does it need to be a meatloaf sandwich just for extra carbs?
Okay, so we're going like
God.
a 2. You said a 2.
Yeah,
All right,
2
let's
at
see.
best.
Detroit's got this modern Greek gyro. I don't know anything about Detroit from a culture standpoint. Is there a bunch of Greek people in Detroit, or is this just like, hey, we decided to put a euro here?
I don't know, man.
You know?
I'd try it for sure,
Yeah, looks
but
good.
I'd also be worried about eating tzatziki sauce from a stadium.
Yeah,
Like that seems inherently risky to me.
yeah. I mean, you have ranch that's like shelf stable. I don't think I've seen a tzatziki that's shelf stable.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm with you there. But it does
like
look
I tried, but I'd expect a tummy
it's a
ache.
little bit more appetizing than the last one though. So we'll say a 5.
Yeah, give me a 5.
The Adunze dog.
What is in this? Do you know?
I have no clue. It looks like a hot dog. I see some peppers. I don't know what the like. There looks like there's some crunchy bits on top. I don't know if that's like a maybe like a fried onion or if that's
Okay,
either
you know
way.
what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Go for it.
I would try it without even knowing what any of these ingredients are.
Yeah.
I bet it tastes good. It doesn't look great, and it's also kind of annoys me that it's just Chicago doing the most Chicago thing they could possibly imagine with their stupid Chicago hot dogs. But I'm a big hot dog guy, so I'll give it a 6.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1 point higher with a 7. The only reason is because they call it the Adunze dog. They bring in some of that team to it. I love
Okay,
that.
yeah.
I like that. So cheese curds. These are an 8 for me.
Top tier, man.
Hell yeah.
That's an 8, right?
Yep. Yep. You take that. I don't know what sauce is right there, but if that's like some sort of like a mustard sauce in the top left, um,
Mm.
or just really any sauce.
Horseradish sauce?
Yeah, that's bomb. I'm eating the whole thing. I'm going back at
8,
halftime and
9?
getting another.
Oh.
So we'll say 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Cowboy cheesesteak.
Whew. That I'm assuming is brisket
I hope so.
with queso on top.
Yep. You got the little jalapeno at the top there too.
So it definitely gets like a 3 for presentation, a whole freaking jalapeno.
Yep. Yep.
You couldn't slice it up and put it over the top for me. But I bet that thing absolutely slaps.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I do think it's funny that their biggest rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, so cheesesteak is
Of
really
course, we're
funny.
subverting expectations here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it deserves at least a 7.
We'll say a 7. I'm good with that. It does look appetizing. I'd eat it. Speaking of the Eagles, this is where you think that the cheesesteak would come into play. But one of the more interesting items for them is this roast pork hoagie.
I don't know what's on the bottom. That looks like collard greens, maybe?
I think
Provolone cheese.
it honestly looks like a chimichurri, but I don't know if it's that. Like, are you talking about the like green?
Yeah, the greens on the bun there.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I didn't read the menu descriptions on any of these, but to me, I thought it was like a chimichurri or something. It might be
No,
more of a. It might
I'd
just be
much
like
rather
pickles
eat.
or something.
Yeah, it's just like relish or something.
I don't hate it.
I'd much rather have this than a cheesesteak.
Interesting. I think I'd prefer the cheesesteak.
I
Um,
think
for me,
I
it's
think
like a
this is like
6.
a 6 or a 7 to me.
Cool, cool. We're on the same page here. All right. Next up, obviously some of these are split. So like New York and then the LA teams are split here. Um, Spicy chicken sandwich.
I mean, dude, that's got to be a 10. That's like exactly what I want at a football game.
I will ask that you reserve your 10 because there's some other really good stuff on this list.
Okay, we'll give it a 9 then because that looks delicious.
It does look delicious. My only little knockdown here, what the hell does a spicy chicken sandwich have to do with New York?
Now, that's a good question.
That's it. That's my
It's
only.
a great question.
And it still, like you said, looks delicious. Hell yeah.
But
I'm
not
eating
every
this.
concession item needs to have cultural significance to the team.
It to me it does. That's what I like. DC with the Commanders here. Songs hot dogs. So I'm thinking it's like the Korean style hot dogs with
Is it like a bulgogi dog?
no. It's like a normal hot dog, but on the or I'm sorry, corn dog, but with the batter It has like little fried potatoes on the outside. Um, Sometimes they'll do like mozzarella dogs, where instead of a hot dog, it's literally a stick of mozzarella in it. Um, I think the one in this specific example is a hot dog, and then those little bits around it are like fried potato. They're really good if you haven't tried them. Korean hot dogs.
I haven't. It
But this,
looks good. I mean, it's not something I've tried before, but I mean, at least like a 6 or 7.
I'm thinking a 6 or a 7 as well.
Yeah.
I bet it would taste delicious, especially you
Yeah, I
dip
bet
it
it
in,
would. I bet you that hits the
dip that in
spot.
some ketchup. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, you're doing really well. Here's a huge letdown. The pulled pork nachos for Carolina. That looks.
That looks like a still from Napoleon Dynamite.
It does. It does. You could serve
That
this to
is
me.
pathetic.
It's
And
prison food.
Carolina should feel pathetic for showing that image.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, pulled pork, Carolina. That's awesome. But this looks abysmal. This is like
I'm
you
sure
didn't
that
try.
pork tastes delicious, but everything else about this is sad.
Yeah. And when I hear nachos, I would expect cheese here.
There has to be some sort of cheese. That's the defining feature of nachos.
Yeah, and maybe some.
It's the chips and the cheese. You can throw anything else on it, but it's the chips and the cheese that need to be present.
Yeah, yeah. But at least you get a little tiny Texas Pete barbecue sauce.
They serve Texas Pete barbecue sauce at Carolina.
They sure do.
That tells you all you need to know about this.
I'm thinking like
This is bottom tier,
this might
man.
be a
This is
one.
like
This
this is
might
a
be a
1.
one.
This is a true 1.
Jambalaya for New Orleans.
Whoa,
Hell yeah. Yeah,
that's a 10.
that's a 10. That's
Now
a
I don't
10.
know that it's necessarily ballpark food, but I would crush that whole thing and probably want more.
Yeah, yeah, cuz I mean, you're probably not you don't have a cast iron pan that you're bringing back to your seat, right? It's probably in like a little cup. But like there's probably some accoutrement off to the side that you can
Oh
put on
yeah,
top of it. Put some hot sauce in it or something. Yeah, this is a 10 for me.
absolutely 10.
Atlanta jumbo wings. I think it's a great idea. I like wings. I think
Atlanta is famous for wings.
yes.
Weirdly,
These, however, kind of look like Pizza Hut wings.
they're not really jumbo-ish,
They're not jumbo either. Yeah. So don't call them
but
jumbo
they look
wings.
like your pretty standard dry rub, like honey or lemon barbecue or
Lemon pepper.
lemon pepper. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they look okay. Like I like the concept better, so like I'd give it like a 6.
Yeah, I think a 6 is fair. Um, the one little shout out for Atlanta is that all of their concessions are very cheap. So,
Yes,
um,
for sure.
playing into
I want to
the
go to a game there one day just for that.
yeah, just I love that you want to not charge $20 for a single beer, right? Um, Small side note here: Coastal Carolina, the college team, their concessions are entirely free.
What?
Yeah, entirely free.
Well, I assume they can't serve alcohol.
I mean that might be an extra charge, but like if you want like a fountain drink, you want a hot dog, it's free.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's really where we should go for a game. Tampa Bay Mojo Chicken and Yellow Rice. This one also seems really good. I don't think it tops the jambalaya. So for me, this is like an 8.5.
I'll give it. Yeah, that's fine. I'd lean more toward like an 8.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably delicious though.
Yeah, it looks good.
I feel like I would enjoy this more for a cold game, and I don't think you get a lot of cold games in Tampa
Yeah,
Bay.
no.
San Francisco, the crab sandwich. Maybe,
Dude,
maybe I'm bougie
that's
as hell, but that sounds awesome.
dude, I would F up that crab sandwich for
Yeah,
sure. That looks good.
yeah. I don't know
That's
what
like
like
that looks like a 9. Like it would be
mhm.
super refreshing.
Yeah,
Have a
and
nice like Pacifico or something with it.
ooh, yeah. See, and like San Francisco weather too. It's gonna be really nice. It's
Yeah.
gonna be, enjoying that in your seat.
Is that a
Hell
little
yeah,
bottle of like some
something.
marinara or something like that?
No, 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 no. That's got to be here. I'll try to zoom in on it. What is that? Tabasco.
Tabasco. Hey,
Yeah.
even better. Boom.
Yep.
And they got little football
Oh,
Toothpicks,
the
beautiful.
little pick. I
I
love
mean,
that.
that's a 9.
That's a 9. I'll take that. I think that's good. Seattle Smash Burger. Smash burgers in general, I'm always about. There's a place here in Austin called Not a Damn Chance. Best burger that I've ever had. Like, and it's not close. I'm always a big fan of smash burgers. I feel like Seattle would do a good smash burger. Um, I see nothing wrong with this. I would say this is also about a 9.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would F that up.
Yep. Yep. This one's funky. We were talking about the meatloaf sandwich earlier for the for
Is
the.
that a breadstick?
I believe so. This is a meatball on a stick that looks like a breadstick, 2 meatballs, some mozzarella cheese on top, and that's tomato sauce on the bottom there. What the
They
hell does
really
that have to
said,
do with
okay.
Arizona?
They really said, okay, we came up with this great idea. We're going to put a breadstick and 2 meatballs on a skewer.
Hmm.
How do we make this not look like a dick? And this is what they came up with.
Yep. You know, you could have easily just made a meatball sandwich. What did you do here? What were you cooking? Like, it looks
This
so.
feels like something that should be served at like a Jets or Giants game,
Yeah.
like a New Jersey. What does
Yeah.
this have to do with Arizona? Like the
Yeah.
heat? Why are you wanting like meatballs and breadsticks? Like
Yeah.
what?
And the way it's styled, it's like fake bougie. Like it's what are we doing here? This is ridiculous.
And it's served on top of marinara. I don't like this.
No, no.
This just is
Three.
it's an amalgamation of everything that's wrong.
Yep. I'll say actually, you know what? I'll say 4 because it probably does taste good. It's
I'd
just the
give it
assembly
a
is stupid.
3 or 4
Yeah.
just because I bet it does taste good.
Mm-hmm. Pierogies for the Steelers. I like
Ooh.
pierogies.
I do like
Um,
pierogies.
these look like they have some sour cream and bacon on top. Can't go wrong with that. Uh, shredded white cheddar. It looks like. Yum.
Interesting ballpark food. I'd
Yeah.
give it like a solid 8.
Yeah. I think an 8 is fine. Um, I like pierogies, so I might be a little biased. So saying 8. If I'm trying to be unbiased, maybe it's more towards a 7 or a 6.5.
Maybe.
But um,
Looks good.
this one, just for the whimsy, just for the fact that it's shaped like a crab, you know, in
That'll be
Baltimore,
$18 for your crab shaped pretzel.
and I would buy it. I'd buy 4 of them, you know. No, I like it because it's goofy. It probably just tastes like a normal pretzel. So as long as you're giving me like some butter or some like
Yeah,
cheese
it's.
dip, some
I feel like the
mustard.
butter is gonna make it that
Hmm.
much better. That your classic Maryland crab butter, like that's probably pretty good.
Hmm.
It's hard to go wrong with a nice solid pretzel.
Yeah, pretzel at a ball game, right?
I feel like it needs a little something extra, like it's missing something. But
Yeah,
I'll give it a 7.
yeah, 6 or 7. It's
Yep.
the whimsical nature of it is what's throwing
Yeah,
me.
it's fun.
But it's a good pretzel, you know.
You're like, hey, watch me eat the arm off this crab.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my kid would have a field day with those. Like he
Bowl of
has.
cheese.
Okay, not the best presentation here, but I've been told Cincinnati chili is like the thing. Um,
I hadn't heard that.
yeah, presentation wise though, I get it. I get it. This does not.
It looks like a bowl of cheese.
However, look, if I'm preparing this at home, I'm like, hell yeah, this is good.
Oh, for sure.
Matter of fact, all that shredded cheese on the top, there was more, but as soon as I shredded it, popped it right in my mouth, guaranteed. So, I mean, that's how I approach it. I'm actually, you know what? I'm
Oh,
having chili tomorrow. I'm gonna eat that
man.
chili while watching the game.
I'm getting
Um,
hungry watching this.
Cincinnati chili presentation looks like crap. This is probably amazing though, like
It
ballpark
just
food.
needs a little bit less cheese. I don't want my
Get the
first bite to be 100% cheese.
okay. Well, you
It
can.
needs to have some chili essence in there too.
Okay, well you
And I
can.
feel like you're sticking into this with a fork or a spoon. Pick your weapon, but like you have to cut through all that cheese to get to the chili.
Okay,
And I'm not about that.
you can.
And I love cheese.
Not
I give
enough.
this a 6, and
You
I'm sure it tastes amazing.
you don't love cheese enough. I would give this like an 8. But
All right, we'll
for
settle
no,
at a 7.
yeah, I think you can knock it down, especially for the presentation here. It's not the prettiest. Irish pierogi nachos, which what are they cooking with 3 different cultural cultural things here? Irish, pierogi, and then nachos
In Cleveland.
in Cleveland of all places.
You know, I don't know why,
Mhm.
but it works for me.
What do you think's in those pierogies?
I don't know or care. I
Yeah.
would destroy like 10 of them. And I'm prepared to give it a 9 right now because I bet that slaps.
I think this is where we differ. I would probably lean towards more like a 4, and I think
I've
it's
got a gut feeling that just tastes delicious.
presentation is really nice. These look like professional photographs too. Some of them haven't been.
True.
But this one, um, yeah, probably does taste good, but I don't know. I know America is a melting pot. I don't think this is what they intended when they said that, but they
For
definitely made it.
some reason, man, this just seems like, yeah, why not?
Okay, that's fine.
It's not as offensive to me as the Arizona sweet meatball
Meatball
on
on
a
a
stick.
stick. Yeah. All right. This is the ringer.
Duh.
Yeah. So with the Colts, this is a corn dog, and I believe it is coated in blue Takis. All right, so we're gonna say 1 and keep it moving.
Yep.
Fajita tacos for the Texans.
This is a 10.
Yeah, yeah, I'm messing this up. All the
And
accoutrements.
there's Texas bias all over me here, but
Yep.
whatever.
There's rice and beans. You got the
Anybody who's
tortilla
never had
chips.
a plate of fajitas that looks like that, you need to go try it.
Yeah.
Find a way.
My only knock on this, and it's not enough to knock off a point. It's still a 10. All of those things carrying them back to your seat is probably a hassle. So unless they have some sort of perfect like container that has everything separated, that's probably really annoying. But I guarantee you, all this is delicious. Every single thing on this plate in this picture.
I think my only complaint is the one slice of tomato is kind of out of place.
What? You don't like tomato?
I love tomato, but it's weird with fajitas. I think there needs to be like onion slices there instead.
Yeah, there does actually. I think there are
Anyway.
some. Like right above the tomato, there's some like
Oh
grilled
yeah,
onion
you're
and
right.
peppers.
You're right.
So we'll go 10 there. Tennessee, Nashville hot chicken. I'm down for that.
That's a 10.
I
That's
love
a 10.
That's a 10. That's a 10. I love Nashville hot chicken. I'm a little bit of a wimp, so I keep it on the cooler side, not like, 10 out of 10 hot. But, I do love
I
some
want
spice.
every bite to be so hot that I have to chase it with my beer.
That's fair. I'll take that. That's good. That's good. I believe this is pronounced fuku because it
Say it
looks
really fast.
I'm not going to do that because I don't want to offend anybody. But this is a chicken sandwich. I don't think there's anything special about this from Jacksonville. I
I
think
don't
that's my
know
only
what
knock
fuku
here.
chicken is. I don't know why this is in Jacksonville. Maybe there's a southwestern Asian population there.
Do you
I'm sure
think?
there is. It just doesn't look as good as the other chicken sandwich that we looked at.
Sure,
I'd probably give it like a 5.
5 is fine. Do you mentioned like Asian influence here? Um, do you think that Asian influence is also in Las Vegas because they have the same thing, the fuku
Well, that
chicken
looks
sandwich?
better.
The
Looks like a better chicken sandwich.
the picture does look better. I'll give it
Got
that.
some sauce on it. Doesn't look like it's gonna dry my mouth out. So I'd give this one like a 6.
There we go. I'm cool with that. I think that's fine. Um, the next one, I'm probably the most conflicted on this whole list because on one hand, it's just a Crunch Wrap Supreme, but it's from Denver and they call it the Thunder Crunch.
This is stupid.
This is stupid, but stupid in the
Give
best
this
way,
a
right?
3.
Oh, okay. 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 Look,
This is just rebranding.
if it look, okay, so that's where we'll have this argument because if it tastes like a Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme, sure. We'll put it at a 3, we'll put it at a 2, we'll keep it pushing. If this is a homemade Crunchwrap Supreme or like, you know what I mean? Like it's not straight from Taco Bell if it's something they made in stadium. I'm leaning towards more like a 6. Perfect. You hold it in one
I don't
hand.
know, man.
you
Have
get-
you eaten Tex-Mex food in Colorado before?
I haven't. Is it bad?
It sucks.
Oh,
It's
that's
not great.
that's
It's getting
disappointing.
better, but it sucks.
Don't they put
Um,
like green chili and everything? That's New Mexico. Never mind.
yeah.
Um, okay, okay, we'll settle around a 3. I think that's fine. Kansas City burnt in mac and cheese. That's a 9 for me. I
Yeah, that's got to be a 9. That
um
looks good.
and I'm I'm tempted to go a little bit more closer to an 8 because I'm not a huge fan of mac and cheese. But if I'm trying to be unbiased here, I mean I love burnt ends and everybody
I
likes
do
mac and
too.
cheese,
Oh yeah,
so we'll go
that's a
9
9.
there. Next one on the split cities, we got the Rams and the Chargers here with the loaded tots. That looks delicious.
That does look delicious. I think that's like a solid 8.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I think for most things, if you can just whatever the base is, and then load it up with a bunch of different like fried onions or like peppers, and then put on a sauce, put on some cheese. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm gonna eat it. You know. So
Yeah,
I think
that's like
that's
how
kind of
you
where I
just
lean here.
described 3/4 of all stadium food. Period.
Exactly. Exactly. This one's kind of a funky one. I thought they would have done something different here. An Italian sausage sandwich for the
It
Patriots.
looks. I'd mess that up too, man.
No,
That looks good
it
on a
looks.
nice like artesian bun.
Yeah, yeah. It looks fantastic. I don't know what it has to do with New England, but it looks
No,
delicious. I'm saying a
I'd give
7.
it like a 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. First, I think sweet thing on our list: Mojo Donuts from the Miami Dolphins.
What is a Mojo donut?
No clue. I'm assuming that's a brand. Um. That just was able to get inside the stadium, but I think they're just
I don't know,
donuts.
man. I don't like this.
You like fancy donuts or no? There's a place called
I
the
love
Salty.
donuts.
There's a place called
I
the
love
Salty that's
donuts. I
really
love
good.
fancy donuts.
Mhm.
Not at a football game though.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't like this.
if if this was a college game and it was an 11 a.m. kickoff and I had that and I had a coffee, all right, like I could rock with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this is a you know 3:30 game, well,
Hot Miami,
yeah,
yeah, afternoon or evening game.
I
No
didn't even
thanks.
factor Miami's uh, uh, weather. That'd be awful. Why are you getting a donut?
It'll
Yeah.
melt in your hand before you get back to your seat.
Oh yeah, it will. And they're probably gonna have some like heavy flavors too. Like this bottom
Oh
one here
yeah.
looks like some sort of espresso donut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably heavy. No thanks. 4.
Give me like a 6.
Okay, we'll settle on a 5. Meet in the middle.
Okay, that works.
All right, you want to see the 10, and this is S tier 10. This is the best thing. I saved it for last for a reason. Waffle fry battle boat.
Battle boat.
Those are several waffle fries in several different flavors, all connected together in a beautiful harmony. Oh my
It is
god.
beautiful.
I'm assuming this is probably an arm and a leg to buy it in stadium.
Yeah,
But if you're
it's like
splitting this thing with
$200.
like 3 friends, that's oh man, that probably slaps.
Why not?
I like waffle
It's
fries.
delicious.
I like we going back to what I said earlier about if you give me something and put a bunch of cheese and sauce and
Mm,
fried things on it, it's probably bomb. This is bomb.
making me so hungry, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry as well.
Yeah, it's a 10.
That's a 10.
No doubt.
That's a 10. And that's where we'll end those. Um, any standout that you're still scratching your head like, why the hell did they do that?
Dude, the Arizona meatball, it's just such an abomination. I can't get over how bad that is. Even
Yeah.
the Colts one, like that was just an immediate one because it was like, no. But I can't get over the air. Like, who thought that up? Who made that a reality?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little odd. Um, next one. We're going to be drafting family players.
All right.
So the way this happens, just like our other drafts, you got a quarterback, you got a running back, 2 wide receivers, and 1 defensive player. Um, the rules here are that they have to have had a family member play in the NFL. This could be a father, a son. This could be a cousin. This could be a brother. Um, however you want to draw it up, as long as they have had a family member in the NFL as well.
Okay.
I went first on the build a wide receiver, so why don't you go first here?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and jump right off the board. The St. Brown brothers.
Ooh, nice.
Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown at wide receiver.
Smart. That's actually one of the people I had on my list. Um,
Yes.
I will probably have to. I'll admit for wide receivers, I'm putting tight ends in this category as well. You
Yeah,
can
you
as
can.
well. I think that would be fair here. I'm sure there's plenty of wide receiver brothers, but when because I wasn't trying to look at any lists. I was trying to go off my head. I couldn't name a ton, but I could name a few that were tight ends. So I was like, I'm looping those together. Um, Let me go defensive here, and I want to lock up J.J. Watt.
Oh man, that one's great.
Yep, yep. Phenomenal. What, three? Is there three of them? J.J., T.J.,
And
Derek.
Derek White, yeah,
Yeah.
fullback.
Obviously, J.J. is the best of the three. So I'll go ahead and take him at my defensive position.
I won't fight you there. That's great. Give me Christian McCaffrey at running back.
Oh
Both his
God, yeah,
dad and brother.
yep. And we covered that on the last pod too.
Yep.
Boop. There we go. Now it fits. No, great choice there. I'm gonna take a wide receiver here and go with Stephon Diggs.
Great choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Where are you going?
This is tough. Because at quarterback, obviously everybody thinks Eli and Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go
Oh,
with Aaron
shit,
Rodgers.
shit. I didn't think you would remember. But
His
yeah,
little brother,
his little
Jordan.
brother played for just a short amount of time, so I'll take Peyton there.
Okay.
That's fine.
Um, Shoot. I'm kind of blanking here on defense. So you may need to help me, okay?
Okay,
Who's the better Bosa?
Nick,
It's Nick,
easily,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, give me Nick Bosa.
And I'm only saying easily because he has more hardware. He's actually won more awards than
Yeah,
Joey Bosa did. I think
yeah.
in college Joey was
I just
better.
always get the names
Yeah,
confused.
no worries. All right, look, I helped you out with that one.
Yeah.
Running back, I need your help.
Okay.
Do I go Tiki Barber or do I go Frank Gore? Because Frank Gore's son has taken snaps in the NFL.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But I'd go Tiki Barber.
you think so? Okay.
Frank Gore was great, but Tiki Barber at his peak,
Yeah.
that dude was a beast.
To me, I guess my thought was like, okay, yeah, yes, Tiki's fantastic. Frank Gore was more of just a machine who played forever, right?
True.
Which you never see from running
Longevity.
backs. So it was amazing to see. I loved when he played. You got one. We both have wide receivers on the board. I think I'm going to take a
Yeah,
tight
man.
end because that's the only two that I have left here.
You're going to take a tight end? Is it your pick or mine?
It's yours.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going through this Wikipedia page because I'm struggling here for wide receivers.
No worries.
So I'm just kind of scrolling through here. There's a Wikipedia page, list of family relations in American football. So I didn't cheat up until this point.
There's
Um,
Sammy Watkins is available here.
I'm not a big Sammy Watkins guy.
I'm not gonna tell you my two tight ends.
No, I don't want to steal one of your choices. Hey, look at this. Eric Moss, Randy Moss, and Thaddeus
That's
Moss. So give
bull
me Randy
crap.
Moss. Give me
That's
Randy Moss.
that's crap. That sucks.
It's cheating, but whatever.
I didn't know that he had family members
I
that
mean,
played.
hey, this podcast is educational too.
Yeah, absolutely. For me here, I'm gonna go with Travis Kelsey. The other one, and I'm a little fuzzy on it, but I think Rob Gronkowski also like his younger brother played in the NFL, but I didn't
Is
know
that right?
100%. So I'll
Get
just go with
this.
Kelsey.
Rob has Three brothers. Dan, Chris, and Glenn.
I think only one played in the NFL though, right?
No, they all played in
They
the
all
NFL.
played. Oh, well, shout out to the Gronks.
Yeah.
Good for them. I'll still go with Travis Kelsey. I think
Yeah, for sure.
just because I don't want to change my
No.
pick here. I will say that would be quite the conversation if you asked me like, oh, who is better all time? I'd probably lean Gronk, but
Gronk, for sure.
Travis is obviously he's probably like 3 or 4 on
Top
that list.
top 20 all time tight end.
No, he's higher than that. Travis Kelsey, I think he's like
Mm,
top 5 all time.
no, 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 no.
Name 4 better than him right now. You got Gronk.
Jason Witten.
Come on.
He is.
We need to. Okay, we'll have to debate that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Uh, Jeremy Shockey.
I also disagree with you there.
Well, yeah, because he was a Colt.
He's a giant.
Tony Gonzalez.
That's
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
one where I think Kelsey was
Obviously.
better. I mean,
Um,
Gonzalez was better.
Antonio Gates.
That's another one where I think Gates is better there. So that's 3.
I don't know. This is off the top of my head, dude.
Yeah, we'll look into it. That's a good one to bring up for another
Yeah,
pod.
let's do tight ends. Let's give the tight ends some love.
Yeah. Okay. Last game today. We are going to be tier listing out some NFL funny moments. Now, this is actually just ones that I could think of off the top of my head. I didn't try to do too much into this outside of just what I remember in stupid NFL internet culture, right?
Yeah.
So we got our 8 candidates here. This is Jameis. We have the Colts as an organization.
I already know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is gonna be, dude.
I don't know if you do. Maybe you do. Okay.
Go ahead. What do we got?
Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford. I believe that is Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez?
Is it Mark Sanchez? Yeah, Jets quarterback.
Yeah.
You'll know what that
Butt
one is.
fumble.
Yep. That's Antonio Brown, Travis Kelsey, and then of course Ryan Fitzpatrick. So first one, Jameis
Eating that dub.
eating that
Eating
dub.
it.
That's honestly that one still carries. People still
classic.
do it.
It's an instant classic.
Do you think this is?
He was
S,
doing
or
it
do you
with
think this is
Jackson Dart
A?
a couple weeks ago.
He was, yes.
Yes.
And of course, people have to. I don't know if this is ruining it or improving it, but people are using AI to make Jackson Dart actually take a bite of his hand, and it looks so weird.
The future is crazy, bro.
Are you going S or A with this one? Because I'm
A tier. A tier. We
A
gotta. I can't call it S tier because it's Jameis.
Mhm.
You know.
okay. A tier. A tier. It's one that will live on for a while. I think
For sure.
people still do
I
this.
will always remember it.
It's so.
I'll
funny.
probably be talking about eating dubs when I'm 60 years old.
Hell yeah.
And my grandkids are like, "Shut up."
Hey, there was this guy Jameis Winston back in the day, and then you do it as like an 80-year-old man. Okay, the Colts up next. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
It's when they hung a banner for being the 2014 AFC finalist. That is the most embarrassing thing. Not conference champion.
This
not
like
Super
particular
Bowl
thing, like this is a meme format, lives in my head on a daily basis. When anybody celebrates something that is just not worth celebrating,
Yep.
it's amazing.
You like
This to me is S tier.
yeah, just for the versatility because you can put it's a good template, right?
Finalist.
Yep. There's so many of like I mean just even recently with, Herbert Justin Herbert getting the what if guy stamped on him, which he's correcting this year, I'll admit. He's been fantastic. But a lot of people in the past have put like could have been great or something and it's like this with his face on it. I agree. I think just for the
That's S
versatility,
tier.
we'll put it in S tier.
Who greenlit that banner?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Next, we got Mr. Kirk Cousins. You like that? Man. That was pretty memed out at the time as well.
Hilarious.
Great moment for him.
It's gotta be like at least B, possibly A for
I think
me.
I think B. I think that was a good
Okay.
one. Um,
I still
I
think about this one all the time too.
yeah, it's another one that kind of lives on in infamy, um, and really was at the start of his career, right? Um, from where people
Yeah,
were
with
kind of
Washington.
yeah, people were counting him out, this goober from Michigan State, and then he does this. He goes and plays in Minnesota. He comes to Atlanta. Like he's been really good, and this kind of kicked off some of that attitude that he had.
For sure.
Next one here was Matt Stafford.
Stafford.
We got that's a nice lead you have there. It'd be a shame if somebody made a comeback. That was also one that
Blind
was
Matt Stafford, man.
yep.
The entire team was on his back.
That was another meme that was reused quite often. Not as
Yeah.
much staying power as now. This is very like mid 2000s memes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so
Early odds.
I'll say like a C.
C tier. I
Yeah,
think that's fine.
it's good in its time. Next up, we we got the butt fumble.
Classic bump fumble, dude.
Dude, so
I mean,
not only did it happen, but like because people always see him running directly into his lineman's butt. That's the whole point. Nobody
yeah, I
talks about
mean,
how they returned it for a touchdown. Um, man, it's just so hard to take your eyes off the fact that he
I could
ran.
watch it a million times.
It's
It's
so
S
bad.
tier.
It
It's
was
S tier.
yeah, yep,
I mean, it's a singular butt fumble. Like everybody knows that play.
yeah, yeah. People know the butt fumble. You know, Antonio Brown. Peace out. to
Dude's wild.
to have the stones to do this mid game. It's not even this third quarter. This is third quarter. There's 3 minutes left. You're down by 2 touchdowns. You could still be in this game. And
Could be.
you know who your quarterback is? Tom Brady. What are we doing?
And he quits.
And he's just like, I've had enough.
Yeah, man. It was a crazy moment. I don't know that people are ultimately gonna remember it.
No.
Um, put it in C tier for
Yeah.
me.
I think C tier's fine. Um, it was kind of a goofy thing to do at the time. It's goofy looking back on it now. It's
Yeah.
especially goofy looking back on it now because of all that's happened in his personal
That
life
dude's
since then.
Yeah.
Head case. Yep.
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey. We have him.
Curious.
So he gets the flag thrown on him, and he goes, "You know what? I'm gonna throw it right back at you." He throws his towel at him, and then he throws his hat. I think there's further on. He like throws his gloves at him and stuff. Like it gets pretty crazy, but I think I put this one in here because it's like a little bit more recent. Pre
I don't
Taylor,
particularly remember this one, honestly.
yeah, it's pre Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
but it was still very classic Travis Kelsey. Pretty funny in the moment. I think this is probably also like a C tier.
Yeah, C or D.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll go D. We'll go D. Just even out the board a little bit. Last one. You said you could guess this one. Do you know what it is? And
I don't.
let's just say Fitzpatrick
I
has
like.
had a lot of
I have it
funny
in
moments.
my mind. What?
He's had a lot of funny moments. He's a
He
funny
has
guy.
had a lot of funny moments.
He-
Now that you're, I probably wouldn't be able to guess the specific one, but let's see what it is.
He's got a lot of dad humor. I'll say that, right? So he's got a lot of funny moments. This is the time where he came out in
Oh my! Like
his
Conor
receivers.
McGregor.
I can't remember which receiver this was, but he came out in his receiver's clothing after a game, and man, this is the epitome.
He's rocking
of,
it, dude.
He kind of is. This
He's
isn't
got
his
that shit
clothes,
on.
but he's wearing this. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's
Um,
wearing that.
That's S tier for me.
Yeah, that's S tier.
this
Get
is-
for the dad humor.
Yep, this is every dad thinking like, "Oh, I could rock that."
I need a
Like-
picture of that here in my office somewhere,
Absolutely.
so I can aspire to be that cool someday.
Yep. Yep, I agree. I think that was. Yeah, I'm proud of this list. I think that's good.
Good stuff.
I think that's good. All right, big man, that will do it. Last thing we have here is our picks. You want to get into our picks?
Yes, and I'm wholly unprepared, so I'm going to be doing these on the spot.
Yeah, Yeah, go for it. I can do mine first if you'd like.
Yeah, you go for it.
All right. So my first one tonight, Seahawks and Cardinals. I have the Seahawks to beat the Cardinals in Arizona. Really excited to see the debut of the rivalry uniforms. So that'll be fun for them. I think in our rankings for that, our tier listing for that, we both um, thought the Seahawks were kind of okay, but ones that would look a lot better on field. And then I really liked the Cardinals. So either way, it's going to be fun to see those rivalry uniforms on the field finally. My next one, my Texans getting their first win at home over the Titans. That's probably the one I'm the most nervous about. Really, I think our secondary is going to be too overwhelming for Cam Ward. Next pick, I had the Bears going on the road. I think they'll keep it going against the Raiders. I think Caleb Williams is looking great right now. Linemen have kept him clean. He was kind of off his butt out of the sack column against Dallas. I'm a little worried about Max Crosby. I think he brings a little bit more force than Dallas's defensive line, but I think Ben Johnson can draw up something to kind of phase him out of the game. We've seen him do that plenty of times before. And then my upset. Are you ready for it?
Sure. What do you got?
And maybe I shouldn't go with this because I picked them last week and they sucked. Cowboys at home over the Packers. Right,
Okay.
right now the line is the Packers by 6.5. So this is my upset pick. Um, I think CD being out of the lineup is actually going to be difficult to plan for. Because I don't think they'll just be able to be like, okay, stick our best guy on Pickens. I still think with Tolbert, remind me of the other wide receiver you guys have. That's Turpin. Um,
Turpin, yeah.
and then Ferguson, of course. I think having to spread it around a little bit more and not have to try to force feed CD could be beneficial. And I think it'll be hard to plan for on the defensive side. Um, I also think they're a lot more fired up to beat Micah rather than just beating the Packers. So there's a little bit of uh, a little bit more emotion going into this game for them. I can see this one where at the end of the game, Jerry Jones, both fists raised up, thinking that they won the Super Bowl, and then proceed to lose like the next 3 weeks. But at
Yeah,
least they got this game. So I think they'll weirdly get it done. And
man. It's like
what
you just painted a dream for me. That'd
what
be great.
even better? What time is that game? Is that
7:20 Sunday.
so it's a
It's a
Sunday
Sunday
night
night.
game? Yeah, I prime time Cowboys. I think they'll get it done.
We'll see. I hope so, man. I hope that comes true.
Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, let me look down my list here. And again, I'm just picking off my guts. We got 3 picks and an upset,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
All right. So I am gonna go with. All right, I got my upset there. I'm gonna go with the Rams over the Colts first.
Okay.
All right. I think this is the first real test for the Colts, as you were saying earlier. I think the Rams are legit on defense. I think they're obviously a competitor to win their division, a tough division. But I think they steal this one away from the Colts, and we kind of finally see Daniel Jones and company come down back down to earth just a little bit here.
Hmm.
I've got Ravens over Chiefs in the Sunday afternoon game.
Nice.
I don't think that's an upset.
No, no, it's
Um,
Ravens by 2.5 right now.
Okay. And then I'll actually take Commanders over Falcons with what I think Jaden Daniels coming back. Bill Merritt will do some work. A little bit worried about Terry McLaurin.
Hmm.
Saw a report today he's seeing a core specialist.
Ooh.
So I don't know, possibly injury concerns there as well. But I think the Commanders actually pull this one out against the Falcons. And then my upset pick is going to be, or I think should be an upset, Bucks over the Eagles. That's a Sunday noon game on Fox.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that one
um,
would be. Right now, it's
I think,
Eagles by 3.5, so that would be an upset.
yeah, I think the Bucks are just playing on fire,
Mhm.
man. This just feels like a game where the Eagles are going to drop one. I think they've been pretty flawless so far. I think we kind of see something akin to what the Packers did last week against the Browns, just kind of flounder a little bit. don't really have a good reason to think that. I think Tampa Bay is just a good, solid team.
Mhm.
I think they're probably the best team they're going to play. They've played so far. So I think this is one of those Eagles losses for the season. We'll see.
Yeah, interesting. Because like you mentioned, Tampa Bay. It seems like they're on fire, and Baker's having these uh, shots at the buzzer that are going in, right? And on the flip side, Eagles feel like they're kind of struggling to get to the finish line. Like, yes, they're winning,
They're
they're
getting it
undefeated.
done, but it's not been flashy. It's not been an utter dominating, sort of Eagles
Yeah, it's
performance. So
it's like early 2000s San Antonio Spurs basketball where they're winning. They're damn good at winning. It's not really fun to watch unless you're a
right,
Spurs fan, like I was.
right.
But yeah, they're getting it done though. So it's like, what does this game say for the rest of the season, right? Do we see Baker make that leap with the Buccaneers, and it's like, hey, actually, this is the real number one seed, right? This is the number one or number two seed, or do we see the Eagles finally look like they did last year,
We'll see.
where they are beating teams easily, right?
Yeah.
But that'll be it. I think those are some good picks. It'll be really fun to watch. I'm most excited, I think, to see the rivalry uniforms, as I've mentioned. I think this is the third time
Yeah,
I've
that would be a
mentioned it
good
on
one.
this pod.
We'll be texting about that one tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. I am at Rick High Jr. You can find us at the at. Let me start that one over. I'm at Rick High Jr. You can follow us everywhere at High Point Pod. You can follow Jacob at JDub Tynes. And Jacob, anything else? Ooh, still got the previous game up. Anything else you wanna tag in here? Any mention before we head out?
No, I think we talked about fantasy last week.
Mm-hmm.
All three of my fantasy teams lost last week, so
Oh,
um, looking for a comeback this week.
the rare triple L.
Yeah, the rare
I
triple L.
I'm at the top of my league.
There
I'm
you go.
3-0,
There you go.
and I just had a really good trade. We'll see how that pans out for me. Maybe it'll be
No, but
terrible.
it's been a fun, exciting football season so far. I think we got some good games coming up this week, and it's exciting to kind of get into the actual. Feels like we're not at the beginning of the season anymore. We've got storylines developing and stuff, so gonna have a lot more fun stuff to talk about here soon, and a lot more rookies are gonna be breaking out soon.
Yeah. Yep. That's it for episode 5. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, guys.